Welcome, everyone, to another four-year speculation podcast. We're taking a break from looking back at previous Oscar years and looking at this Oscar year. Joining me is Cesco.
Hello.
Erik.
Hello.
Rob. James.
How's everybody?
And joining us for the first time is John.
Hi.
So we're here to talk about this Oscar race, which is a little exciting, I think, even though a lot of things are up in the air in terms of release dates. So I think we're going to get started with supporting actor because we love to get it out of the way first.
Yeah.
It's a really crazy category, though. But it's got a really clear front runner.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just say it. Chadwick Boseman, is that what we're saying?
Mm-hmm.
From already.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think sight unseen, he comes in with absolutely the front runner status.
Yeah.
He also has a lot of films this year, like 3, right? There's this. Why is it blanking on me? Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Wasn't there another one? Am I lying? Am I correct?
He has another that's in post and completed, but
Okay.
yeah, it's really kind of just.
Yeah. I think the only way he doesn't actually win the whole thing is if for some reason his role is smaller than expected. But from what I've read, I think he's probably going to have, even if the movie's okay, I think he's probably going to get in and most likely win.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Yeah. It's I was on it before he passed, but it's kind of just one of those things now that feels inevitable, and I hate saying it or even couching it in that type of conversation, or even just kind of writing everything off as just like, oh well, obviously that's going to happen, let's move on to the next thing, because there is a lot of potential and possibility in conversation in this category, because we have so many movies with large ensembles of men. Who would have thought that? Amazing. A movie with an ensemble of men. So there is still a few things up in the air about maybe some that could go lead in certain movies, and I know that a couple of studios are still actually holding back and trying to figure out if they can do that so that they can get more in, just do it very strategically.
Yeah, and I think the big film is the Trial of Chicago 7. I think there's literally 7 guys in that film that might get in, again, so some permutation of lead or lead. There's Sacha Baron Cohen who could be lead or supporting. There's Yaha Abdul Mateen. Yeah, there's tons of people in there.
Yeah.
It's Nashville it's Nashville, but for men.
Yeah. Who will be Lily Tomlin? So.
Yeah.
And then the other one. Sorry, go ahead, Erik. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I've seen it twice, and I've had a few conversations, and Redmayne and Sacha Baron Cohen are the two that have the chance to be bumped up to lead, but they really are supporting. But if they keep everybody in supporting, it's going to limit some potential really kind of cool chances. Like Michael Keaton only has 2 scenes in the movie. It's a perfect supporting nominee performance with those 2 scenes. And one of them is directly fighting Eddie Redmayne, which is, a wonderful Oscar fan kind of you have the Oscar that I should have kind of TV.
Oh, that's right. So I haven't seen Trial of Chicago 7, but if it comes out, I think I've heard some reviews that have been really positive and some reviews that have been a little bit middling. If it turns out that the whole film kind of goes down to mediocre, do you think that just opens this category up? I mean, obviously, other than Boseman, do you think, because then you have One Night in Miami now has a bunch of people in there as well that could fit.
That's the other one. That's the other one.
Yeah.
And
that one feels like it's getting better. And Mank,
Yeah.
Well, Mank has got 1 lead and everybody else is supporting, but still, you have to look at and most of these movies we're talking about are Netflix, because they have most of the movies that are going to be at the Oscars this season, and they have to make all these decisions of who they're going to push, and that's contracts and studio and agents that are all having this like, well, you need to put my client ahead of this person, and it's messy as fuck.
Yeah. And I love it. Like, it's interesting that those two films, again, Trial of Chicago 7 and One Night in Miami, it's really great to see like this dearth of this and like this sort of like a bunch of potential nominees that are all like black men. And so that's really awesome that there's this sort of just bumper crop of like really great performances to pull from there. I always feel though that like then it's just going to be, you know, everyone's going to cancel out and it's going to be
the lone white guy.
The one white guy, yeah.
Like Spike Lee movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like, who will be the Danny Aiello? Like,
or Adam Driver.
Yes. Or like all this happens and
Sylvester
Redmayne,
Stallone.
and Redmayne's the only nominee. Like that's it. Like, you know, like
and that is actually entirely possible.
Yeah.
He has the most screen time along with Cohen, and Mateen is great, but he's got a limited amount of time.
Okay. Interesting.
That's not going to do him any favors. So yeah, it's also like when we have like a best director conversation about women, when there's like 10 great female directors, and then it just ends up not mattering because none of them get in. The way that women are treated at the Oscars is a lot of the same way that black people are treated at the Oscars, where you need to have like one or maybe two people you can coalesce around, put all of the votes and attention on, or nothing happens.
Yep.
I kind of feel like historically the way the Oscars have gone of late is when after the Oscar So White 2 years in a row, they seem to like, let's nominate everybody. There was quite a few black actors that were nominated. 3 in supporting actress. There was just quite a few. And then the next year it settled down. They kind of felt like, okay, we did our thing. Is everybody okay? We're not racist. I kind of feel, yeah, exactly. And then I kind of feel with the current climate, with everything that's happening, Black Lives Matter, everything that's happening, I kind of feel like this year, and specifically because everybody's just so hunkered down at home, and all these films that definitely have a lot of individuals to pick from, I think it's going to be pretty. I think it's going to be heavy duty on diversity this year. I think it's always, the Oscars always seem to go with what the climate is and where people are, and they just don't want to risk this whole like, what the fuck, you didn't nominate anybody, and look at this wealth of individuals of diversity that you had to pick from.
The thing I keep saying is looking at the Emmys and what they did for black nominees. 35% of the acting nominees were black, biggest percentage in the history of the Emmys by far. And that to me was the bellwether for what things are probably or could probably look like, with attention being centered around that. And also because we're not going to, all the tentpole movies are dropping. So we're only going to have these Netflix, Amazon, and indie Oscars. It's going to be wild. It's going to be like 1995 or 6. I
know. I'm actually really looking forward. So that was the question I was going to ask. Speaking about kind of coming out of last year, where Parasite won, becoming the third film that was a predominantly or all Asian cast with it wins Best Picture, no nominees ever. So one of the things that the films that's really interesting to me is Minari. So I think in this category, this is one of those questions: will Steven Yeun get into be in supporting or lead? Based on the trailer, I haven't seen the film, but based on the trailer, it feels like it's a lot. And from what I read, it's a lot of Steven Yeun's being lead. But this is another, like, in the supporting category. Like, does anybody feel like Yeun would be a potential dark horse here?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I stuck him in lead.
I stuck him in lead too.
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm predicting him here, but I'm
predicting him in supporting as well, because everything out of Sundance was that Alan Kim, the kid, okay,
lead.
But strategically, it would make more sense to flip that, because the Oscars never nominate young
boys.
Certainly not ever.
Yeah.
So it would be pretty traditional for them to do that. If they,
Jackie Cooper would like a word.
yeah, except he's dead, so no.
Mostly he wants
that
to know
was my
how he can be
question.
alive again.
It was Alan King, Alan Park, Kim, or Stephen Yeun. Like, but I'm so excited for that film, and I'm so excited that like.
I'm seeing it in the weeks, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, me too. But the point here, I was thinking, is saying, if Minari again had won Sundance, the Audience Award, and I don't think they would do that twice, like to nominate it for Best Picture and then none of the nominees, like, and again, I feel like that's one area we'll see. I feel like they might hopefully have some more attention. Is like, oh yeah, we really are really shitty on Asian nominees, Asian and Pacific Islander,
Asian and Hispanic nominated, yeah, sure. I mean,
totally. Anyone,
And I think also the climate of everyone being at home is going to help with movies like that, because the people are going to have more time to watch, and it's going to be much easier for them to access. So they're not like having to go out to a movie theater or find a movie theater that's playing it. So I think smaller movies like that, especially like you mentioned, Erik, that the tentpole movies are dropping. Like, I think if there's any year where a movie like that can succeed, it's going to be a year like this.
Yeah.
He was getting traction for Burning a few years ago, and I think that put him on the map a little bit.
He won LA Film Critics,
He won
didn't he?
LA,
Yeah. Feels like he barely missed out for that. So.
And then also, I mean, he was on Walking Dead, and that was hugely successful, and he has a really big fan base. Seems like a lot of people know him and like working with him, which is always, I think, important. So no, I'm really rooting for him, and I think he's amazingly handsome. So I don't think
and maybe this will make up for all the Parasite actors being shafted. So.
But we also know that A24 is taking the movie seriously, because there was like total silence all year long after Sundance of what's A24 doing with any of their movies. Now Minari is in all of these little festivals, all the regionals throughout fall, and that's how you do it.
Yeah,
that's how you do a movie like that. So I feel really good about their plan for the movie and about him.
So we're saying him supporting, not lead. Again, I haven't seen the film.
Yeah.
I've seen the previews.
Until I hear something different from A24. Yeah.
They're thinking him. They're pushing him for supporting.
That's my lead.
So what about Judas and the Black Messiah? Any thoughts on that one? Because we've got Lakeith Stanfield.
That's number 2. I feel like it's going to be a Training Day, Last King of Scotland.
Okay.
Okay.
He is going to be the lead and Stanfield is supporting, even though it's told from the perspective of the character, who also has screen time.
Yeah, and I would love to see Lakeith Stanfield get some traction. I mean, he's been amazing since Short Term 12, or before that. So I love him. So that's awesome.
And we know how well the actors from that movie have been doing with Oscars, so it would not hurt.
I know. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And then the other thing I was thinking was there are French Exit. Lucas Hedges, I know, has been talked up.
Yeah.
What was that, Erik?
I love him. He's
yeah.
I adore Lucas Hedges.
Yeah. But I think he's interesting. And then the other person I think is, I don't know how they'll push this film outside of Vanessa Kirby, but I feel like there might be a play for Shia LaBeouf in Pieces of Woman.
Especially after his assault arrest this weekend. So that would
another one?
Part of his campaign.
All right, I will strike that from my list.
No.
Never mind.
Sean Penn himself to 2 wins eventually.
Oh. All right, well, I'll change some things on my list.
How funny.
I'm looking at.
I have David Strathairn.
Yeah, I was just going to say David Strathairn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see people have him as like the front runner to win, and I'm like,
I haven't seen it, so I'm just going based on my cheat sheet from Variety.
No,
No.
So I will say, having seen it, I love Nomadland. I loved it. I thought it was beautiful, and we'll talk about it later when we get to Best Picture. But I actually found in the film I was kind of wanting him to go away. I understood the plot device that he was doing, and he's not bad. I love David Strathairn, but the character I felt was just sort of, I don't know. I felt like, and maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I'm sort of in the minority, but I just felt like there's got to be more substantive performances this year.
The problem with him, even though I do think he's got a great chance of getting in, is that you have McDormand blends in with all of the non-actors like she's one of them. And Strathairn's existence, his entire narrative and existence is so unorganic because it's only there to go up against McDormand and her choices. So that she is faced with the choices that he makes from the beginning to the end. And so he's fine, and I love him to death. I think he has enough to do, but he also just feels inserted.
Yeah. The only real reason I added him was I just felt like voters would be like, oh, we need at least one like distinguished older white gentleman actor, because there always seems to be one or two of those. Or last year there was all of them were, like
Langella.
What's that? Frank Langella? Oh, maybe him. Yeah.
Frank Langella. Yeah.
He is an insane scene stealer in Chicago 7.
Oh, okay.
And he is a prick.
I also feel like Strathairn got caught in the gears of the Heath Ledger versus Philip Seymour Hoffman year for when he was up for Best Actor. Like he won, I think the National Board Review, and then from then on it was the Philip Seymour Hoffman show with Heath Ledger stealing every once in a while. So I feel like it's nice just to have to revisit David Strathairn. Sort of like.
Welcome back to David Strathairn.
I know, yeah.
And I feel like he has potential to get in because I really, and we'll get to this when we get to actress, but I feel like McDormand's really going to take most of the critic prizes, and I think Searchlight's going to be smart to campaign him in I don't like using this, but as a coattail nominee.
He would be a coattail nominee.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I agree.
Even as a previous nominee.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's also Mark Rylance in Chicago 7.
He has like the third most screen time in the movie. He's their lawyer. He, unlike Bridge of Spies and like anything else he's ever done, he gets to yell and scream. Which was kind of shocking. I didn't even know he had it in him.
I just want to be my grandpa.
Like Shylands.
A little bit. It's not quite old man yelling at cloud, but it's cloud yelling at old man or something like that. I don't know.
Something like that.
But he's good. He's really good. So that's another chance for that movie.
So the question also, because the Academy loves actors who portray people, any thoughts around like Charles Dance, who plays who's he playing Mank? Hurst. And then Tom Burke, who plays Orson Welles.
Tom Pelfrey has the better chance of both of them. He's Tom Pelfrey from Ozark.
Okay. Oh, okay. They skipped it on the Emmys. He's not going to be nominated.
I didn't want to talk about that because that was disgusting. He plays, and really minimal screen.
Has anybody seen One Night in Miami? I know a lot of you get to see.
I haven't seen it
in advance, right?
Yeah, twice.
What about Leslie Odom?
Yeah, Leslie Odom is going to be he will be the standout. He will be the choice.
Supporting?
Especially.
I mean, because he's pretty hot right now in the sense of like
and he will have the EGOT narrative.
Right.
But Kingsley Ben-Adir would be the person that would be push lead if they decide to.
Is he the one that plays? Is he the one that plays Muhammad Ali? Malcolm X. Who plays? Is it Eli Goree who plays?
He is amazing.
So he's the one that plays Cassius Clay. Okay.
If it was gun to my head and I had to only pick one to get a nomination, I would probably pick Eli.
All right. Wait.
Really? He's so great. No.
I'm trying to get the gun.
But they're all good. Everyone's good. That was fantastic. And
there's a chance of like no white guys in this category. I don't think.
I was going to say it. Yeah. But however, I feel like
there's going to be one.
My cynical thing is, they're gonna like it's gonna be all white guys. It's gonna be there's gonna be 5, and then like everybody's gonna can't cancel out, and then like it's gonna be all white guys.
Well, then that only helps Chadwick Boseman if he's the only black guy.
Oh yeah.
Fair, yeah. So, but no,
it's not unrealistic. If Sacha Baron Cohen gets pushed to lead, then he's out of here, and he also has Borat. Which
I'm really interested to see how that plays.
Nominee for Borat.
Mm-hmm.
We can't pretend that he's not. And he dresses up like Trump in the goddamn movie, and it's coming out a week before the election, which now is going to seem so weird.
I know it's gonna,
and people are gonna say it's so mean. It's so mean.
It's so disrespectful. Fuck you.
It's punching.
I am sending healing prayers.
Yes.
Yeah, I lit all my little Spanish candles last night for prayer. For fuck them. I'm an atheist. What am I talking about?
What is going on?
I think what the thing about this is I think it's an exciting category because there is so much opportunity for, and the one thing we kind of didn't talk about is a lot of these guys would be first time nominees, like and also at a really early point in their career, like this would be a really cool kind of narrative. Obviously there's always the Chadwick Boseman narrative that's going to kind of supersede everything, but I think in there's going to be some really cool names that are going to come in here. So
I agree.
This might not suck actually this year.
Yeah, it might not be the time you go and refill during the show.
As long as they keep it and keep the Oscars this year, it could be a really, really fun year.
So I said that I was telling Alfie, I was like, should we talk about before we do anything over under on whether or not we think there's going to actually be an Oscars this year?
Yeah, let's briefly mention that before we move on to supporting actress.
Because I remember, Erik, a comment where like a few months ago, and I wanted to see if you still felt that way, but you felt pretty determined that there was no way it's going to have you evolved on that, or?
I made that comment and then I got a lot of shit for it.
Sorry.
No, from
Drop that.
indie directors, and they were like really upset with me. I'm like, it needs to happen because this is, the time that we can shine and when we don't get to, and I'm like, you're absolutely right. And I just had this like moment of kind of giving up. I'm worried now. Yeah. I'm much more worried than I even was before, actually, because even as like just this week, the Writers Guild and Producers Guild and Art Directors Guild and the editors all announced their awards dates, timelines, and everything. Like everything was normal. And obviously everything was falling in line with the Oscar eligibility. So everybody except for New York Film Critics, because New York Film Critics are moving to this February 28th as the extended deadline. And as each movie keeps getting dropped and moved, we now have, I think Dune is really the only thing left of the big, like, $200 million movies. And that's going to go too. So it's totally going to go. And there's no reason it has to stay in 2020. It's not timely. It's right. When you have things that don't exist in a very specific time, sure, you can pull it and you can put it in.
That's not going to get dated. That's why I was surprised that they pushed Tenet. I thought for
like,
sure they were.
But they
like
did.
Borat has to come out.
Yeah. Borat's timely.
That's the only thing that kind of survived in a way, but it's Trey mediocre.
The sandworm is kind of Trumpian.
The sandworm?
Yeah.
Just like a big hole.
Big hole.
It's more like gay Twitter, but yeah. But to James' question, I think there's a better chance that it's going to be just canceled than not.
Be a 2-year.
But the Emmys did it. The Emmys did theirs. They had all the content. They didn't have to change any of their eligible content, really. So they were better off by the timing of it. And, the Oscars have been extremely dependent on studio fare in the last 2 years. That it's been a huge component. And everybody always seems to attach studio movies with the ratings. even though the ratings are going to go down every year, regardless of
Forever. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
you can have Bohemian Rhapsody and Star is Born and all of these movies nominated, and the ratings are still going to go down. So if you're attaching the ratings element to it, I think that's already kind of a mistake. But ABC Disney has to do that anyway because it costs them $50 million a year to put the Oscars on. The deal they have is so huge, and it goes to 2028.
I was going to say they're on the hook for at least.
Dumb.
They're on the hook for like 8 more years, right?
Yes, yet they never have engaged in the idea of doing simulcasts on YouTube or anything like that, so that they could have a broader reach that would all include all the commercials and ad revenue that they need every year to kind of just buoy up the cost. It feels like just a bunch of fucking boomers trying to forward an email to their grandkids. And you get this like forward. Like, sorry, Grandma, but I'm not opening that fucking email. And
but isn't that kind of what everything in the world is now? Just a bunch of fucking boomers trying to get people to do this shit?
Yeah. If they put it on Facebook, maybe people would watch. I don't know.
Yeah.
They accidentally clicked on it and thought it was an ad for Trump. Or I don't know.
But the thing about it is, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say they can't resist doing the designer mask. Who did your mask?
Oh yeah, that's true.
That would be the what mask are you wearing?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I thought I don't know how everybody else felt. I actually thought the Emmys did a great job with doing it in a virtual environment. I thought they, again, I'm cynical as shit, and I still thought, oh, this worked pretty well. I still don't think the Oscars will deign to
they're not.
They will have to have people there, and they will have to have so. And I can imagine
the next big super spreader event.
Yeah. Although they could be, that'd be actually fun to see, like, if they had to like spread it out so like half the attendees could come, like one seat empty, just to see if Sally Kirkland could show up because there'll be no room.
Alone.
Oh, what kind of mask would she wear?
Oh shit.
Or maybe
bring her. Anyway, all right.
That'd be the longest telecast if they did it by category. It's like, okay, all the sound people come in first. All right.
Oh, they're not there anymore. They're not allowed. They're in the parking lot. That's it. They'll literally throw the Oscar out into the parking lot and say, "Fight for it," and then like slam the door, and then that's it.
Okay, I would watch that. I mean, obviously.
I would too. But that's a simulcast. That's the ad stream.
That's what you put on YouTube. Yeah.
It would be like
exactly.
when the bride throws the flowers.
Just throw an Oscar.
All the women are just like, "I will fucking kill you."
Just Jackie Duran, like killing people.
Well, with the Emmys,
Diane Warren can finally win.
Oh. Depends on what she tweets, I guess.
I love her though. I love her.
With the Emmys doing 5 nights of the creative Emmys, like I think this is the one chance for the Oscars to finally get certain categories on a different night. If they do,
I do too.
Like that.
That's actually a good point. To be like, "Hey guys, would you like your own show?"
That really
Wednesday at 2 p.m.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
2 p.m. like Kazakhstan Mountain Time, like.
Oh, that would be so sad. And they've already combined sound, so
Yeah.
Yeah, but the short categories will be like from your living room.
They should combine other categories, but disparate
Pedro
categories.
Almodovar gets in for his short film.
Would be cheating.
I was going to say they should combine other categories, but just like random categories, like documentary costume. Like those categories are combined. Best documentary
Make
or
it like
costume.
Project Runway, and like you're paired with a documentarian who's also you costume designer paired with a documentarian. You have 48 hours to come up with something that's fantastic. Okay, wait. Actually, write that down because that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
If that's how I can get the Walter Mercado documentary an Oscar, then I'll take it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
I'm like obsessed with this idea now. I'm thinking like best supporting editing or
No, supporting stays in their main one. Like,
forget subtracting categories. We can
Yeah,
add 24 more.
mm-hmm. I like this. Keep going.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
That's alcoholic on a podcast.
Should we move on to
I know,
supporting
yeah.
actress?
Yes.
Let's move
Let's
on
do
to
it.
supporting actress.
Supporting actress. Okay. Are you okay, Francesco? You good?
I'm perfect. I'm perfectly fine.
Then let's do it.
Perfectly okay.
I love how it breaks through her face. That's kind of fun. So,
Kool-Aid Man bursting through a picture of the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh no.
are you scared that you might be up against Olivia Colman again?
It would be kind of hysterical if she ends up in supporting for a leading role now, and then 2 years ago she was lead for a supporting role, and she just fucking just ruins everything. But I don't think that she would win again like so soon.
Right.
Coleman?
But also, I have her in.
I
I have her
agree.
in lead. I have her in lead.
I agree.
Me too.
Really?
You
Well, I
don't
have her
think
in
Coleman would
supporting.
win? Wait, you do think Coleman might win?
No, I don't think she would win, but I don't think she's going to be in lead.
I think she'll be in supporting.
She's going to be in supporting so that Michelle Pfeiffer can have a totally open road.
Francesca.
Her chances are better getting nominated in supporting, though.
I'm okay with Gwen getting her revenge. So.
It would be fine in supporting. She would be fine in lead too. It's a much closer line than The Favorite, and she's fucking great in The Father. Holy fuck!
So, I have her in supporting. Are you saying she could go either way?
Absolutely, she could.
Okay.
I was getting that vibe too. I've gotten that vibe that Coleman is going to be almost a pick'em. Like it's sort of like where we want to put her. So.
But as we found out with The Favorite, it was up to her where she decided to go. They let her pick, and then based on that, that's where Weiss and Stone were going to go. So they were letting Olivia Colman decide where she wanted to be submitted. And the only place you really have to be submitted is SAG. And because they were so early, we were able to kind of find out.
Create the narrative.
Almost when that happened.
Well, she won Actress in Venice that year.
Yeah.
It was like in September. So
yeah,
were like,
that's like SAG TV. There's only one category, so.
Yeah.
So we're saying, but I feel like Glenn Close has to, for Hillbilly Elegy, to make sure for the viewers at home, like she's the favorite right now, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say as long as the movie's not panned, she'll be close to a lock.
So it's getting
and her cat shirt.
Because it's still close enough to
her.
her.
I mean, come on, that cat sweater should be enough. Give me that costume design win.
I know
for real.
That kitty sweater.
If she had not had The Wife and been nominated and almost won for that, I don't think she would be as much of a lock. But I think that narrative is still fresh in people's minds, so they're gonna look at that and be like, "Oh, it's time to give her."
And in my nightmares.
I mean, as everybody knows, Netflix has a tremendous amount of movies,
right?
And they've only dated a few things so far, and LG is getting the Thanksgiving traditional, very popular Thanksgiving weekend release.
That's my birthday weekend.
Yeah!
Oh, happy birthday!
There you go. So I still feel, and I have not moved from Glenn Close at number one. You're gonna hate this though, but the only thing that I don't think it would upset Close, but it will get close, and it will depend on how this campaigning goes, is Amanda Seyfried.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I just remember from last time.
They are really, really behind her for that. But she's also the only female in an all-male dominated movie.
What about Saoirse Ronan? No.
Is Ammonite done?
Is that even coming out?
I feel like Kate Winslet will get a drama nomination at the Globes.
November release.
Yeah,
I agree, John.
And that's it.
That's one of the 4 movies that is hitting like every single festival.
So why do you say no?
As a win?
No, as a nominee. Oh, we're talking about win?
Yeah, no, I think she's highly likely, but I have her. I push her down till 4th for this month.
We're talking about Saoirse Ronan.
Yep.
Okay.
But
I
don't want to spoil anything, but she eats it.
Got it.
She
okay.
eats it.
Okay.
Like,
Well, that changes everything.
Yes.
pink is the warmest color.
I was about to transfer to. I was about to
I was gonna
transition to
say,
Ellen
alright,
Burstyn. Now I don't want to.
She does a Kate Blanchett in Carol.
It's oh no, it's like
Oh, it's pure munch.
it
Corn
is.
on the cob.
It's kind of what it's kind of what Judi Dench wanted to happen in Notes on a Scandal.
It is. Notes on a
Okay.
Scandal prequel or something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, some serious dining at the Y. Okay, got it.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. It's
Those are that's
it's a
street
lot.
references I don't get.
They both do, and it is.
The lone hetero here. Sorry.
So the person that I will say, and there's no way to transition out of dining at the Y. So I'm just
Okay.
and especially when I want to talk about Swanky, because
Yes,
that's who I want to
knew
talk
that's
about.
Exactly where you were going.
Stunning, fucking stunning, like in Nomadland. In fact, I love in the trailer, like here's the experience I had with this. First of all, that movie destroyed me in a lot of ways for a lot of reasons, but she has a kind of a fireside scene in that film that is just extraordinary. It is extraordinary.
James,
Yeah.
can I interrupt you? Who are you
Yes, you
talking
can.
about?
So her name, okay, in the credits, her name was just listed as Swanky.
Oh, Swanky. Oh, yeah.
Charlene Swanky.
Yeah.
So I knew obviously that Chloe Zhao had like a mixture of professional actors and non-actors. But other than Frances McDormand and David Strathairn, I didn't know who was who. And as I was watching that scene, I remember thinking, there is no way this is a non-actor, because this is her face, the way she delivers that, again, and she's great to her whole film, but this one scene in particular just blew me away. Like I thought there's no way that this is just, this is a first-time actor, because obviously there's been some great first-time actors who performances, but there was always something about them that crackled around the edges where you knew that they were sort of guileless, you know what I mean? But that particular scene was just so perfect that I thought, like, she has to be one of the actors. And then at the end where it said Swanky, played by Swanky, I was like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Like, so I think no matter what happens, obviously I'm definitely rooting for Glenn Close as well, just because she's phenomenal and she deserves it. But I will say, if Charlene Swanky can get in, I will be so happy, because I think it's just so deserved and phenomenal. It's just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she liked my tweet that I said, I think she's wonderful. She liked it.
Oh.
So she's already playing to the judges, and I love it.
He's learned from Sally Kirkland.
So again, sorry, a little bit of a diatribe, but I wanted to make sure that
I am 100% behind you in every word that you said, because not only is she that fucking good, and the fireside, and also inside the band. My God, it blows my mind.
Yeah.
A
find, definitely, no matter what.
We just saw a few years ago when Marina Tavira got in with nothing, absolutely nothing whatsoever.
Sorry, say that again. Who?
Marina de Tavira in Roma.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Got in on the strength of the performance, but on the strength of the film too.
Yep.
And when you have something like a performance like this, like hers and like Swanky's, I think it needs to be attached to an extremely strong film for it to happen. And she's attached to easily one of the strongest films of the whole season.
Yeah.
So I just put her in only just for this month, and I have her at 9. And I'm being very careful with a lot of things.
Totally, yeah.
Because I would love for it to happen, but I don't want to be too crazy with it. Right? But I think it's absolutely possible. I think it's completely deserved, really more than David Strathairn.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
So there's three actresses that I read about that were getting some traction, and it was Ellen Burstyn in Pieces of a Woman, and then also Natasha Lyonne and what's her name? Also for Billy, the United States versus Billie Holiday. Divine Joy. God, I can't even read my fucking writing here. Randolph, thank you. God, I can't even read my writing.
Get your glasses, Boomer.
No shit. Yeah. Considering
I'm
probably old enough to be
I
your
got
dad.
Natasha Lyonne on my.
What's that?
I have Natasha Lyonne on my contender list, but not the top 10.
And then what about Respect? Mary J. Blige.
I actually swapped out Mary J. Blige for Audra McDonald instead.
Okay.
She plays Aretha Franklin's mother.
Okay.
And I think that's just going to be a juicier role. And I'm also just worried about that movie anyway, and that weird rumored 3-hour runtime. Nobody wants to do that.
Who directed Respect?
Oh,
Sorry, I didn't mean to buzz it. Sorry.
Let me look at my notes
Pause,
here.
Alfie, pause.
Liesl Tommy? Lizelle Tommy?
Oh, Liesl. Yeah,
Liesl Tommy?
All right. Liesl, like as in like The Sound of Music. But
Sound of Music, okay.
I'm looking at from Minari,
Yes.
Yoon Yoo-jong.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Zhao Shuzhen walked so Yaon Yoo-jong can run.
Yes.
It seems like it's a scene-stealing role. All the reviews I've read are super glowing about it, and I think more people are going to have seen Minari than saw The Farewell.
Farewell did pretty well at box office though. Like
no, it did.
Million.
Yeah, but I think
won a Golden Globe and Spirit Awards.
But yeah, but as far as Oscar voters,
no, and again, John, to your point, I think coming out of Parasite, I think there's going to be top of mind. Like we're shitty about, in particular, we just gave Best Picture to a film, and we didn't nominate any of their actors. You know. I think there's going to be, hopefully, again, and maybe just because I'm married to a man who was born in Korea, but I hope, and we talked, so we actually, my husband and I talked about this. We watched the trailer for Minari, and one of the things that he said was, I bet Stephen Yeun gets nominated, and he looked up and said Alan Kim. He goes, because he's so cynical, and I think he might be right, but he goes, because white people can pronounce their names. And he said that he honestly feels like people didn't nominate anybody from Parasite because they could not remember their names, you know, like that. And so he said, who's the actress that plays the grandmother? Because it stood out for him too. And he said, and I said, oh, it's Yoon Yun Jung. He goes, yep, she's not. He even say, he goes, I bet she doesn't. Like, because her name's too hard. Stephen Yeun, yes. Alan Kim, yes. So.
I think that is absolutely legitimate. Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
So it's really sad, but I think you're right.
At the same time, to John's point, the Farewell and Zhao Shuzhen and Lulu Wang set the stage.
I agree.
For that to happen on top of Parasite. So I think something like Minari, if it's played correctly by A24, as well as Chloe Zhao with Nomadland, is going to be able to take the next step on the ladder that was built last year.
Yep.
That's often how things work. Being first isn't always the best. Being first gets everybody else there.
It gets the Best Picture at the Independent Spirit Awards.
Yes.
Very well.
To an absolute
and supporting actress.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez.
I know.
But I mean, I think you're right. It's kind of like, as much as Brokeback should have won, it's behind you. I've just noticed that. Like, I think it was a foundational element for Moonlight winning.
Of course.
Yeah. Like, so I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's we've seen it too much. We've seen that, especially with the Oscars. So they'll find the time to feel like they're doing the right thing, and I think Parasite was certainly that. So this is going to be an important year. Is it going to be a Crash year where Crash won and the Academy felt like we solved racism, we're good, let's move back to the things that we are comfortable with?
Who was it, Erik? Was it you that said racism pushed Sandra Bullock down those stairs?
Yeah. True. You're my best friend. That was some fucking help bullshit in that.
I know, yeah. Drink up, my friend. Drink up, my friend.
Good Lord, I'm telling you. So it's going to be a really telling year, I think, based on last year, based on Parasite, based on The Farewell, obviously based on the year of Black Lives Matter, and obviously based on the election, because I don't think you can have the conversation of Moonlight versus La La Land without including the fact that the 2016 election went the way it did. So things changed. Things changed a lot.
Good point. That's a good point.
And I think if Hillary Clinton had won back then, La La Land probably would have won, because there would have been a comfort level that was sustained instead of an outrage level that needed to be
externalized
somehow. Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll see that again this year, depending on what happens in the election.
Yeah. Interesting.
So the only other person that I have predicted that we haven't mentioned yet in supporting actress is Helena Zengel from News of the World. I was looking at that and I was like, oh, a young actress who's really probably the lead and is 12 years old. She's gonna get in for supporting.
Yep, she's gonna Steinfeld in a Western.
I put Mare Winningham. I actually put Mare Winningham.
Is she in that too?
Yeah. I figured.
I thought you meant as a young nominee. I was like, what?
The young Mare Winningham.
Back to when she got nominated, I was like, how old was she when she got nominated?
What about Toni Collette?
No.
I think
it would be great, but no.
Are you talking about For I'm Thinking of Ending Things?
Yeah.
I think that movie came out, and I think it was too obtuse. I think yes, and I think the name brand of Charlie Kaufman, and like the fact that the book was a bestseller, I still can never. I read the book before I saw the film, and I still, when I read it, and then I found out Charlie Kaufman was doing it, I was like, really? Like, because the ending is nothing like in the book is nothing like the film. But yeah, I think when I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, Toni Collette, and then like I think it's just too inaccessible. I think, yeah.
She's gonna need to take a break from like Crazy Moms, though.
Yeah.
Which is why she's so great in like Unbelievable.
Yeah.
She got to make sure and pick carefully.
Yeah.
What are?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, John.
I was gonna ask a different question. So if you wanted to still talk on this, go ahead.
I was gonna say on Helena Zengel, the one thing that I think is there's always someone new here, and I feel like so far we haven't talked to anybody who's new. So I think. Well, fair, but I guess the ingenue knew. So, so I think actually Helena Zengel is a good sort of keep your eye on her.
Well, I mean, Amanda Seyfried would be
Amanda's
new extreme, first time nominee. But yeah, I know you guys mentioned Ellen Burstyn earlier. Definitely keep an eye on her. Definitely keep an eye on her.
What about Streep?
For what?
For
the prom?
No.
I'm just saying because it's been coming up on one of the longest stretches of no Streep nominations.
I'm worried.
In her career.
Obviously worried.
It's Ryan Murphy.
And this is where she would end up.
Ryan Murphy.
Can you see him pulling it out? It's Ryan Murphy.
I mean, she has a great wig.
Yeah.
She does. They did have a big wig budget.
But see, I
didn't do her on my list of 20 people.
I have my notes here too. I'm like,
I like old school.
But in my top 10, the only person that we haven't mentioned, and probably rightfully so, but I'm going to hold on to it for a little while, is Leslie Manville.
I have her in. Actually,
okay,
yeah.
because in
Let Him Go,
if you've seen that fucking trailer,
yeah, I did.
Know that she is coming for the Jackie Weaver, Melissa Leo wig.
Yes.
Like in a serious way.
Yes.
It is absolutely that.
And I want it to
consider.
Yeah.
I want it to fucking happen. She's the perfect, here's the only nominee this movie will ever fucking get. I love it.
Also, just residual, she another year she should have been nominated. She should have won for another year. She didn't get nominated at all.
Yeah,
and then
Phantom Thread nomination.
She should have won
the Phantom Thread.
Yeah.
Just the dinner scene again. Just the dinner scene alone when she tells him don't you ever come to me ever again. Yeah, I just in my head say that all day long to anybody who remotely crosses me.
Horny. It's so amazing. It's like watching old fashioned gay bickering.
Yeah.
And I love it. I live for it.
Leslie Manville getting in for Phantom Thread was one of my favorite. Like, holy
Fucking
shit.
legendary.
Yeah, just like amazing. Like,
It was a great nomination.
yeah.
So I'm just keeping her in the back. She's on my back burner until she's not.
Yeah. No, she.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
What studio is that?
Focus Features.
Okay.
Mhm.
Which is one of the few things that they actually are going to come out with this year. That's a little bit of tea I have this year.
Ah. So, Alfie, before we go to the next, like, I know we're not going to talk about like short film, but I do want to ask. Pedro Moldovar has a short film with with Tilda Swinton. Do you think they'll actually? Because I feel like if he gets in, he's winning. Pedro Moldovar for the human. God, I forgot the name of that shit.
Human Voice.
Human Voice, yes.
I mean, I really hope it happens because I want him to have another one. So
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I keep forgetting the eligibility for the short.
Yeah, I have no idea. Again, like that's
So,
what I was.
I think we'll only know when those lists if those lists come out. So
they are
Yeah.
still coming out. There is still a date for them
okay,
officially, but the rules haven't changed in terms of how they're eligible. They still shorts, whether they're animated, live action, or documentaries, still have to have the proper festival run, and they only have to hit the like 1 or 2 festivals that are on the list, and I mean it was Venice, so it's absolutely eligible. It's completely eligible.
But I feel like maybe he doesn't even submit it. Like, it kind of just seems like he's something he did during COVID. You know, got his friend Tilda together with some crazy hats. You know, like
And some hammers, and
yeah, exactly. So, all right, sorry, detour, but I just
no, but I do
know we
think
won't.
that based on how they vote, where it's just anyone can vote for anything. If that's nominated, I think he wins because they're gonna know it's him. So
and like give Pedro more, like like just
especially if people are like not really upset because like how can you deny Parasite, but Pain and Glory walked away with nothing last year, even though it richly deserved the 2 nominations that it got. This would be a nice like, oh, we loved Pain and Glory as well, so here's one more.
Yeah. He won for Volaire, right?
His
Bad
Oscars
Education.
for Talk to Her.
Bad Education. Talk to her.
Talk to
Yep.
Her.
Yeah. Okay.
Sidebar: did you see the picture of fucking Penelope Cruz and Antonio Banderas in the new movie, like that's like on the stairs of the Cannes Film Festival? Holy fuck! You gotta go and look at that picture. Holy shit.
I mean, like, is it like the sexiest thing in the world?
Like good or bad? Like they look terrible, or they just look amazing?
No, it's amazing. So
I was about to say, like, what happened?
Has this huge like Diana Ross disco wig and a one-piece like sequined rainbow disco jumpsuit. And Antonio is in a tuxedo, but he has the most perfectly like silver black hair, like fuckable. I mean,
I was hoping you were gonna say it's reversed. Like he was wearing the.
Okay, that would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun.
He had the perfect like manicured goatee and the hair. Like that's what I wanted.
I can like share screen or something, but I'm not gonna do that.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
But yeah, look it up after this. It's gorgeous.
Nice.
He's short. I met him.
I feel like everybody's short.
He's short.
Everyone's short.
And
Yeah.
what?
Oh yeah.
And what?
No, because he looks tall, and then I was surprised how short he was.
Who, Banderas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I met Telluride last year. We were absolutely literally wearing the exact same outfit, and it was bizarre. But he was so sweet. Very sweet. Really nice guy.
Speaking of a deserved lead actor nominee, we can now transition to lead actor.
All right.
Change my cards here.
Is this the Anthony Hopkins show? Like,
yeah, he's not losing.
Yeah,
I
don't think so either.
He's not losing. Period.
When's the last time he was nominated? Was it
last year?
Oh shit!
Girl.
Who? Come on. Like.
Girl. No, it was great. I was glad that he got in because
But that was kind of if you blink, you forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I did, apparently.
Right.
Well, it's not as bad as the Sidney Poitier thing I did last time, but that's okay.
He's really good at two posts, though. He's
That's right. You thought he was dead.
I thought he was dead. I'm sorry.
He's
But John, I thought Sidney
That's
Poitier,
let me-
cherished American
let me-
legend.
let
I
me
decided he was dead by accident. So that's what I did last time.
Let me check my phone. Nope.
It was
Nope,
great.
he's still alive.
Yeah, that's great. However, he's 96 or it's 94, 93.
What are you trying to
I'm not-
say?
I don't know. Back up.
Wait,
Let's
you're
go.
trying to kill Sidney Poitier now? What's going on?
So Delroy Lindo.
Yeah.
So Delroy Lindo.
Nice
He's
transition.
getting in, right? So like,
Yes.
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 I still think that he has a good shot at winning.
I
Delroy
had
Lindo.
I had him all the
Yeah.
way until this month, and I gave up, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Have you seen, has anybody seen The Father?
Yeah, twice.
Okay, you've seen it.
Will
It's
it
definitely-
matter if Hopkins doesn't campaign? Because he didn't campaign at all last year.
No, he's going to campaign 100% for this.
Oh, really?
By Zoom.
Yes.
Yeah,
He loves it.
by a Zoom.
It's-
Which this might actually be the best year ever for introverts to campaign because they're just like stay at home.
He has done so much and so well with Twitter and Zoom this season with
Oh yeah, I've seen his Twitter stuff. It's funny.
he loves it. He's actually having a really good time. But yeah, he did not
Nano and cat
Oh my
videos.
at AFI last year. That's where the two popes premiered, and so Jonathan Price and
Oh, the two
Hopkins
popes.
were there, and they did like the red carpet, and immediately like after, Hopkins hopped into his car and he's like, "Peace out, fuck off, I'm gone, see ya," and Price stayed for all the parties and everything after that. It was fucking hilarious. He was just like, he came in for the photos and he peaced out. Great. But this year he's definitely in it. He's in it.
Yeah.
And he'll deserve it because it's the best performance of his career.
Yeah. I've read like so many things like that just had again because I think in the past ever since Silence of the Lambs, there was almost like a period of like 10 years where it felt like he was just sort of doing the Anthony Hopkins thing, just sort of like, eh. And then it's Anthony Hopkins, and he had sort of generated so much goodwill that you're sort of, it's almost like Al Pacino in a way. It's it's sort of like, all right, yeah, Anthony Hopkins does what Anthony Hopkins does, but everything that I've read is that this feels like transformative. It feels like he really like melts into the character and really sort of like minds a lot of things that like feel very human and natural and beautiful and frightening and terrifying. So that's really exciting.
For someone who's been acting for 60 years, I saw him do things I have never seen before from him, ever.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, it's devastating. And if certainly, if you've had anybody in your family that has gone through dementia or Alzheimer's, you are going to recognize to an acute degree what's happening, and especially how it's presented, which is not really like how it has. This isn't Still Alice.
Yeah, Emmanuel Riva.
No offense to
Emmanuel Riva.
Legend Julianne.
Emmanuel Riva walked so Anthony Hopkins could run.
Yeah,
I love that callback. I love it.
yeah, exactly.
I love it.
That's perfect, actually.
No, yeah.
But this is not. It's not Still Alice. It's not even Emmanuel Riva. It is.
But who plays the pillow? Sorry.
How dare you.
Spoiler.
Almost like a 10-year spoiler.
I know, yeah.
But no,
Wait,
I
what?
mean,
He smothered her at the end?
I know, yeah.
God.
yeah, it's really.
That actually stunned me when I watched it. I was like, oh shit, what?
I know. I did the same thing.
It's Michael Haneke. I knew something was going to happen. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. Something terrifying, horrible was going to happen. So, but
It's between the two of them.
So Hopkins, but however, I think there's also a few more people. There's Gary Oldman in Mank, I think and then Tom Hanks in
Mhm.
News of the World.
Yeah, and Daniel Kaluuya.
Kingsley Ben-Adir. Kingsley Ben-Adir. I think. I remember he's been getting. I feel like the lion's share of like if you had to choose one person from One Night in Miami, like it's Kingsley Ben-Adir is who's been coming up for me that I've read so far. Obviously, this is always Layman. I haven't seen shit.
So,
I haven't either.
In the movie, him and Leslie Odom have, I guess you could say, the most subplot outside of the hotel story, because once they get into the hotel, it's only in the hotel. But there is a little before, as well as they tell stories, then you get to see like a flashback to the moment that they're talking about to help us at least theatrically get out of the play element and give it some cinematic aspect to it. So they both have the most in that regard. And then you also have to really kind of look at, I mean, they're all playing extremely famous people, but I don't know, maybe Malcolm X is probably a little more famous than Sam Cooke. And then again, when you consider this year, Malcolm X is going to have a lot
of resonance
than Sam Cooke will. Yeah. So I hope that's what happens. I hope that Kingsley Ben-Adir goes lead. I would
And then Daniel Kaluuya for for Judas and the Black Messiah. I think that's interesting.
Yep.
And then there's also there's a possibility that Stephen Yeun could switch up to lead and Trevante Rhodes. Sorry,
and Trevante Rhodes, who
I love that. I love him. I just feel like I love him so much. Like
I bumped him into like 6 plays.
Yeah. Although it's the Lee Daniels film, like I will say, I always reserve my judgment.
Yeah. I mean, it could be the butler, so you never know.
Yeah. Riz Ahmed.
Yes.
Sound of Metal.
Yes.
Sound of Metal.
Yes.
I feel like he's one of those actors again that ever since Nightcrawler, he should have been nominated for Nightcrawler.
Yes,
but
they both did.
Yeah.
And Rene Russo.
Yes. And cinematography and score, like a lot of it. So like, I love that film. But Riz Ahmed, Sound of Metal, I feel like he's one of those actors that has a lot of goodwill. You know what I mean? That has like kind of moves nicely between film and television. So he's got like a lot of kind of people who support him, and I just think he's a great actor. And he has an Emmy, for Night Of, yep.
Yeah, no, he moved up on my list this month. Tom Holland did, and that's not like
all right.
That is not a preference or any kind of like twink fascination. It's just
twink fascination.
Apple bought it for $40 million. They're going to do something with it.
Yeah, Max Harwood too. For everybody's talking about Kevin.
Yes, if it gets released like it's supposed to in January, yes.
Yeah.
Because then that'll be one of the few things from that studio to actually get released.
Mm-hmm. So if we had to choose 5, it sounds like Anthony Hopkins, Delroy Lindo.
Yes.
Gary Oldman.
In there.
Gary Oldman.
So 3.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
I'm predicting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have him.
These are the 5. Yeah.
Those are my 5 for September.
Yeah.
I was going to say Hopkins, Lindo, Hanks, Oldman, and Kaluuya. That's what I was
Yeah, that's what I have.
That's my 5, yeah.
It was interesting when I looked at Best Actor. It was kind of everything else. There was tons to. Best Actor seemed to be kind of slim pickings. I mean, I had like Ewan and Eddie Redmayne and Jesse Plemons, but I mean, the top 5 seem pretty solid right now.
Also, Sacha Baron Cohen, right, could go lead here.
Could go, yeah.
Yeah, he could.
Mm-hmm. But again, I feel
like
the
Chicago 7 is going to go Spotlight, and everybody's going to go Sporting, and they're just going to see who gets in.
I haven't seen it. I just had this feeling it's Aaron Sorkin. I just feel like it's going to end up being like, it's going to be the one that it's going to be. Pardon me. It's going to be the Goldfinch. It's going to be the Goldfinch.
What?
The Goldfinch. Like it's going to be like the one that like everyone.
No.
Maybe not in terms of how like the reviews, but I feel like it could end up getting nothing.
Okay. Am I the only one that actually liked that film?
Well,
I didn't see it. I love the trailer.
Goldfinch.
I didn't finish it. I couldn't.
Oh,
my husband loved the book and then hated the movie.
So my wife and daughter read the book like 3 times. We actually went and saw the movie. I went blind, had no idea. I kind of knew what the story was, and I thought, oh, that was not bad. But I saw it as not reading the book. They saw it as reading the book, and of course they picked the whole film apart and said, well, they left this part out, and this scene should have been longer, and blah 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 blah. But I didn't think it was that bad. I was like, what?
I will say I never saw it, so I'm just being mean without seeing it.
No, Ansel Elgort is like,
Oh.
oh my god.
We need to trim out a few of those like Scandinavian named actors anyway.
Yeah, but
That name sounds like a troll. It just sounds like someone's.
There's too many right now.
Elgort with
Ansel
Alden.
Elgort.
Alden Ehrenreich, like all of those. Yeah, we need to get rid of
I
a few
feel,
of those.
but however, just side note, I feel like they've been trying to make Alden Ehrenreich happen for like 9 years, and I feel like it's just not.
It's not gonna happen.
Sorry, Taylor Kitsch.
It's
You.
not gonna happen. Okay, but that's facts. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah. Yep.
We go to actress.
Lighting is so.
Finally, yes.
For the next hour.
Yeah. I think
Glenn
this is really
Close.
interesting. Yeah, Glenn Close.
I mean,
Well, here's what I'm gonna say.
See, this is
Oh,
another
your finger. Oh, no, your finger.
This
Yeah,
is
my finger. I fell in my garage. Here's what I was gonna say about speaking of Glenn Close is I have Amy Adams, and I know there's a lot of people who are not predicting Amy Adams, but this is the thing is I don't think you can have a Glenn Close overdue campaign without also having an Amy Adams overdue campaign. You can't ignore one. They're going to be both campaigned as overdue. I don't think Amy Adams has any chance of winning, but I think the strength of, depending, again, if the movie's not garbage,
Night, bitch.
God
She's-
damn.
Sorry, next year. No, that's the movie she's in, Night, bitch. So, Amy Adams.
Oh, I
is
thought
in-
that was her.
I think she's going to be more
no,
of a contender.
no. Sorry, I just wanted to yell Night, bitch. That's all.
Because you
So.
can't isolate just Glenn Close's many nominations without also looking at Amy Adams. So unless she's like god awful in it or a complete non-thing,
You just
but
gotta look
otherwise,
from afar.
They could if they want to be
question mark
assholes.
With,
I mean,
with her is that in the
They-
novel, the character is basically only in flashbacks and kind of like not marginal, but like not what you would imagine a leading presence.
Yeah.
So it is unclear exactly how she's going to be featured in this movie.
Mhm. no, I agree with you.
Whereas Glenn Close has a very either like just kind of like what you would expect like a leading performance to be, or a very meaty like supporting,
Yeah.
It's a,
which I think
John-
helps there.
John, I think you and I are still
Exactly
just,
that.
we just want Amy Adams to win for Junebug because I think we're still going back.
no,
to-
I mean, I could care less if she gets nominated, honestly. I'm just saying that like people are going to, her 6 nominations are going to be on people's minds just as much as Glenn
Well, I think that's
Close's
good.
7.
I think that that will be
And
the.
Peter O'Toole did Nothing in Venus, and he got nominated because people love that narrative of being overdue, and they love So I'm just saying I'm not saying
No,
she
I
will. I'm just saying she's probably has more of a chance than people are giving her right now.
I just think it's going to be difficult because Netflix has so many lead actress contenders because now they have Sophia Loren too.
Well, they
I have
that
she's
profile.
in my top 5 actually. Sophia
And
Loren.
The new thing they have is Vanessa Kirby.
Vanessa Kirby,
And,
yeah.
and I'll tell you right now, because I bumped Amy Adams down to 10, and she will probably be off my list like next month. Vanessa Kirby they are fucking behind her.
So that's actually the thing. I know that Frances McDormand is probably for Nomadland feels like the leader right now. I kind of feel like it's a co-leader between Vanessa Kirby. I feel that's who I feel like she's coming out of Venice. She won Venice. I feel like she has a lot of goodwill for the crown. I think there's a story behind, I mean, like, again, you can get a narrative behind it. Like, she's also the right age to win Best Actress, for lack of it, to be quite honest, in terms of, however, again, it'd be interesting to sort of see it's a shift in demographics for the voting body changes anything, but I feel like it's probably, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the last 3 actresses that won the Volpe Cup in Venice and then got a nomination won the Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's more of a chance that maybe people are seeing right now for her to actually win.
Yeah, I feel like if I had to guess, I would say she wins. Right now. That's if I had to guess.
I definitely agree with that because I think McDormand did not win any of the major critic awards for 3 Billboards, and I think this year she's going to take a few of those. But the televised awards, I don't see her winning any of them just because she won all of them for 3 Billboards so recently. And I think Vanessa Kirby is going to win the Golden Globe. Like, that is I think that makes the most sense. SAG, I think, will be harder, but like she'll probably win the BAFTA. So
there's also Viola Davis.
I was going to say Viola Davis.
Viola Davis is my number one. I have not changed from her.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Period.
Yeah.
Explain.
I'm not going to
talk more about that.
I'm not going to change from that, period. I think she's going to win. I think it's going to be almost as easy as Chadwick Boseman's win. I think she's in. I think she is in to win, period, done, end of story. Even though she is easily the least recognizable of the 3 Black female vocalists, musicians, singers that are featured in movies this year, because you have
Audra Day,
Franklin, and then you have Audra Day,
right?
Or Andra Day,
Andra Day,
Billie Holiday, who are obviously more recognizable.
Yeah,
but it's going to be all about Viola Davis, and this is going to get the second only Best Actress Black winner in history, and it could have happened if Davis had gone lead for Fences, but she was super strategic and chose not to, which is fine. Good for her. But I feel really good about it.
And what about if Viola Davis becomes the second by beating Halle Berry?
Because I don't think that's coming out. It was bought as a work in progress, so it's not a finished film yet.
Yeah. I was just thinking like a public relations officer.
But it would be pretty wild. It would have been really wild if Halle Berry had done her $1 Million Baby and it came out this year and she won again. That would be pretty awesome. But
can I just say? I will just say
that's gonna be next year.
Andra Day. I don't care what she does. She has that song, like, I'm gonna rise up, that song, which has now become the song that's in the trailer of every horrible film that I never want to ever see, that replaces You Raise Me Up. It's like the new You Raise Me Up. So I wish nothing but failure. I'm just kidding. But yes, so there was a trailer that just came out with that Andra Day song that was so horrible. Alfie, I'll tell you, and you can put it in the notes for this video, because it was a trailer.
The money she must have made out of this song,
just from CNN alone for Heroes,
like the U.S. Open, like for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Sorry, Divergent.
I think she's going to be a fantastic contender. She's in my top 5. I put Vanessa Kirby up to 6 after Volpe and Netflix, and again, because I'm just trying to be a little more cautious and not like a crazy person that's like, takes somebody out of nowhere and puts them up to number 1. That's how I kind of used to be, and I'm trying to be a little more cautious about that. But
so you're calling me that?
James, that's not what I meant. But
no.
Right. What about?
So, but you're saying that you don't think like Vanessa Kirby wouldn't be in your top 5 right now?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet, but that's only because Kate Winslet keeps dropping down.
I was going to say, Kate. What about Carey Mulligan or Michelle Pfeiffer?
Talia Ryder.
Michelle Pfeiffer, I have at number 3, I think, and we're going to hear the reviews from New York.
I'm going to say something controversial. I think Michelle Pfeiffer's primary function anymore is just to fill mid-year Oscar predictions.
How dare you!
I don't think she's getting nominated.
Are you saying she's white oleandering this?
I'm saying she's Shireen this.
Oh, no.
And just because I saw it this morning, I would love, because I love these kind of performances, Sydney Flanagan and Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always.
Yeah.
Just because I saw it this morning, and I thought she was amazing. And I just love those type of movies and that type of performance. I thought that she was amazing.
She's perfect.
It's not
perfect.
Not going to happen, but I said, I just thought. Say that again.
It's a screenplay nominee.
Do you think Julia Garner might get in for the assistant?
No.
So interesting. I remember when it came out last year in Sundance, I remember hearing that was the film that everybody wanted to get a ticket to. That everybody, when they were seeing it, had to see it, and they thought it was amazing.
It is.
And it was the assistant?
The assistant, yeah, with Julia Garner. Right. Obviously, she won 2 Emmys now, so her profile has risen. I
She'll be
wonder
playing
if it,
Madonna probably. So we'll see.
probably. I think she's going to get it. I think she's going to get that role. But I really do wonder if the assistant is just too on the nose for or do you think that matters? Like, because again, it's essentially Harvey Weinstein. Like, it's Harvey Weinstein's assistant, the film. Like, so, and knowing a lot of people in that room have voted for and gotten campaigns for
Yeah,
sort of
absolutely.
by him.
Here was the
I
thing.
wonder if they just don't want to, like, no, thank you. I don't want to talk about that.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was so unbelievably shrewd at how not on the nose it was.
Huh.
You knew that's who they were talking about, but they never crossed the line of it. And it's easily, I think, the smartest element about the movie is that they don't do that, and it's great, and she's incredible. And oh my God, that scene with Matthew McFadden, holy shit, is terrifying. And it's a perfect encapsulation of exactly what so many women go through in any vocation, but certainly very much so in the film industry. But I also think that in a weird way, it's going to seem like so long ago.
Yeah.
Even though we just got new, Harvey Weinstein allegations or the charges 2 days ago, it's going to seem like a long time ago. And we are literally going to have a whole nother Sundance of eligibility.
That's true, yeah.
On top of last year's, which is going to be so weird.
Yeah.
And it will only count if anything from there, has an official release within a month of screening there. But I would love it. I would love for her to get like some critics' attention. I think it's going to be really difficult.
Does it seem like a Spirit nominee? Like that's where it's going to be?
Yeah, but there's going to be a lot of Spirit nominees.
There are.
Yeah,
there are.
There's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot this year.
Well, I think the same thing is also with Elizabeth Moss for sure. That it's too early.
Oh my God, she's so fucking good.
And is Promising Young Woman coming out this year?
Okay, so that's a little bit of tea.
Okay, yes, go for it.
When is Alfie? When is this podcast getting released?
I'm gonna put it up tomorrow, but I can release it later if need be.
No, I'll just say Promising Young Woman is coming out this year.
Say that again.
Good.
It's coming out this year. Okay. You'll hear more Wednesday?
Soon.
Okay.
Wednesday.
A lot of people have seen it, and I feel like the vibe that I get from it is there's a lot of people who support it. They say that maybe it's not a perfect film, but they really, really want people to see it. And like for Carey Mulligan as well as like them. Yeah.
It's the antithesis of The Assistant.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I talked over. I'm sorry.
No, I talked over you.
Ah.
Because I'm a bitch.
Well,
no,
fuck
it's the antithesis. It's the opposite of The Assistant, where there is no like hesitation. It's so aggressive in its message, and I'll just say that much, that it will probably have a little more recognition. Plus, it's just going to have a release that will be more visible.
Ah, okay.
So,
yeah. In that vein, I feel like another film that I heard that Netflix just got, I think, is I Care a Lot with Rosamund Pike. I remember Richard Lawson for Variety said that he saw it, I think at Toronto. I think he said he saw it. Well, I think he saw it at Toronto. And he said he walked away from it thinking he would love it if Rosamund Pike got nominated, because it's just and it sounds right up my alley because it's supposed to be dark, comic, and like mean. And then like
exactly. Which is everybody here, so yeah.
Exactly, yes. Dark, comic, and mean. So I was just wondering if you thought anybody thought that there was a chance for that. Again, it's not, but Netflix just announced 2 weeks ago, I think, that it picked it up. So
I forgot. I actually forgot to add her, and I should have. She should have.
Really?
She should have been on my list this month. But yes, I mean, my critic from Toronto absolutely loved the movie and loved her, And it's like, okay, cool. So people are finally doing something with Rosamund Pike, since Gone Girl, that is deserving of the person and actor that she is. So yeah, her notices are great. I'm sorry, John. Diane,
oh my God, I'm devastated.
I'm gonna mention in that review, and I know you commented on it. And when I got the review, when it came in from my writer, I was like, scouring through it to copy edit, and I was like, and I literally did like a Control F for Diane Wiest, and I was just like, and I was like, oh shit.
It's okay. I had a moment of hope where I was like, "Oh, Diane Wiest is back!" And then
I know, and I felt so bad, and I'm not even kidding because you were the first person I thought of.
That's okay.
Yes,
it was a great review, though. Like I'm really excited to see it.
John was like, Diane!
No, I'm such a bitch. I'm sorry.
We're all super gay.
I mean, really.
I also want to, before I forget, I want to clarify. I actually would love to see Michelle Pfeiffer nominated. I really like her. I just have been burned by that arc before.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to happen.
Remember what people thought she was going to get supporting for Mother, and then then Mother came out, and then Mother came out. Everyone got mad. Everyone got really mad.
And people saw it.
Yeah.
No, that movie's a fucking masterpiece. And
I loved it.
I'm not. No shade at all to the film. I'm just saying people saw it. Things happened to a baby, and people got mad.
Yeah. It's all right.
Who hasn't eaten a baby? Come on.
Whom?
among us.
Among us, yes.
Among us. Yes. No, I actually feel really good about Pfeiffer only if Sony Classics does right by her and keeps Coleman in supporting. Because if not, I think you've got some trouble. Because The Father is the stronger film. Sight unseen for who checks it. It's still going to be the stronger film.
I feel like it's at least the most accessible Azazel Jacobs film that's come out, like, since Terry, I guess. So, like, that's Azazel Jacobs, right?
Right.
Yes, okay. Because I was wondering if our friend Darren, edited it. So.
Yes, because every time I post anything about it, he's like retweet,
I know, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
You all remember when, sorry, just sidetracked. Do you remember when I totally shat on Terry on the board?
At least you didn't shit on Bug. Like, that would be
not
bad.
realizing that Darren had edited, but I specifically called out the editing. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Darren, if you're watching this, you're amazing, and I was an asshole. You were perfect.
Yeah.
I
remember in my awards, I nominated Bug, but I didn't give it the award for editing.
Same.
And I actually literally had to, like, send Darren a text and be like, I love it, though. I just want you to, and he's like, I don't care. It's just rinky.
Yeah, I just imagine Darren, like, reading his text and being like, bless your heart.
I don't give a shit about you. Like, I got a real job in Hollywood. Fuck off. Like, go back to Macon, Georgia. Bye.
Oh, boy, that accent really just came out.
It came out, right? Yeah.
Girl. Wow.
Did we miss any other contenders for lead actress? Was that every?
So I was looking through. So here's the list I had. I had Kirby for Pieces of Woman, Davis for Ma Rainey, McDormand, Pfeiffer, Winslet for Ammonite, Andrade, Coleman, Sophia Loren. So there's the one.
Yeah,
I feel like I've heard great things about the film and the performance. I feel like, again, Netflix got it right. Is that right? Wrong?
Yeah.
Yes.
Directed by her son.
Directed by her son. I feel like, obviously, she's just a fucking icon. And I think there's a narrative. I think there's definitely a narrative to get her in. And if I had to choose, I would say that's my surprise Best Actress nominated this year.
I think a Holocaust survivor in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think so, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Which I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean, it's pretty baity in terms of, like.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they were, like, into that anymore.
Yeah. But I feel like you're still into Sophia Loren, though. I feel like, you know what I mean? I feel like Sophia Loren is one of those people that is just such an icon that even, I feel like 25-year-olds might know who Sophia Loren is. You know what I mean? Like, she's just like Erik. Like, but I don't, that's my guess.
Maybe.
She would shatter the record for most longest time between
I was
acting
gonna say,
nominations.
Yeah.
Was it two women?
Because that would be like 57 years or something like that.
I've been playing with all of her like.
It was Marriage Italian style, so like early 60s.
Yeah, that was just a couple years
Oh.
after. It was like
Yeah, because that was
I thought you
Stallone
guys
has
were going
it
to do
now,
that same.
Helen
I thought you
Hayes.
guys were going to do it again and go, James, she was nominated last year.
She's 87.
She was double nominated for 9.
Yeah.
Directed Parasite. Come on, James.
Although I did forget that Penelope Cruz was nominated for 9. I just thought it
forgot
was
that
Kate.
too.
I just thought it was Kate Hudson's hair got nominated for 9. That's it.
Oh, there you
Like,
go.
Fergie's Relevance got nominated.
aww.
Oh, I had somebody. Let me look at my
Amy Adams. Oh, sorry. Jennifer Hudson. Halle Berry.
Carrie Coon.
Carrie Coon. Yeah.
Carrie Coon.
For what?
Who deserves everything. The Nest. It's
The
IMDb,
Nest.
but still.
It's about a thermostat that goes crazy.
Oh, wow. Sounds amazing.
I know, yeah.
It's all shot from the perspective of the thermostat. It's just
Yes.
checking it constantly.
Yes.
I want Carrie Coon to have all flowers, so I will give her any type of like anything that she could possibly get.
So
How much singing does Jennifer Hudson do in Respect? Because I feel
All of
like
it.
that's
All of it.
okay. So maybe
But she doesn't sound like her at all. At all.
I just feel like she is really performing when she's singing, and then the rest kind of like good try.
I know there are some people that are predicting her to win. I will never be on that boat. Ever.
Wow, that's
I think we can take Jessie Buckley off for I'm thinking.
Yeah, like way off.
Yeah. I will say I watched that with my husband, and when we stopped watching, he goes, "I really like that. I hate her." Like I was like, "Oh shit! All right, okay."
I love the movie, and I'm obsessed.
Me
with
too.
her.
No, I thought it was
I
great,
think
but
she's amazing.
no, I thought she was. Yeah, no, but
But
I
she's
didn't see
got
the
in
film.
Wild Rose, so and let's just.
Interestingly enough, Brie Larson was actually signed on to do that role. So Brie Larson was going to do, and then she had to drop out because she was filming something, and Jessie Buckley took over. So as I was watching, I was like,
Buckley would
very
not
different thing.
have anything that she's getting without that. She wouldn't have gotten Fargo, and she wouldn't have gotten this.
Yeah.
So good for her.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So my husband, not a fan, but I liked it. So.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about the divorce.
Sorry.
He seems like a nice guy.
It's a tough time.
It was great while it lasted.
It's, yes. Good luck with your future. But yeah.
It's Hollywood. We just move on, girl.
I think that's
Alfie, can I rise to a point of order? I need to use the bathroom. Can we pause or something?
Actually, I'm going to do a refill on my cocktail. So,
Can we have?
And we're back. The beauty of editing, we're not all as great as our friend Darren, but here's how it is. We lost John, and so we'll see him hopefully next time. But let's continue with Best Director and Best Picture.
he didn't die, right? That's not what we mean by we lost him.
No,
he had a puppy emergency.
Yes,
the emergency.
yes,
Just to
we
clarify,
didn't lose him to anything evil, so
he did not pass.
anything dark-sided.
none of that.
He didn't trump out.
I'm being very I'm throwing it out
Yes.
I'm going to read my Best Director predictions because I know that they're going to be bad because it's a lot of hope dicting, TM John. So I'll read them off. I'm predicting Shaka King, George C. Wolfe, David Fincher, Chloe Zhao, and Regina King. So I know that is not. That is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Or
Why
October.
not? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Considering most of these films won't even there'll be 10 other films that show up, and we're like, oh shit,
Right.
okay. Yeah.
I have this is kind of like blending both categories, but I am predicting Trial of Chicago 7 in for picture, but I do think it's going to be just barely gets in because I have no faith in it really. And I don't see Sorkin as a directing nominee.
Better not be.
So
I think I almost lined up with you because I have Chloe Zhao, Regina King, David Fincher, George C. Wolfe, and Florian Zeller. Is that who you had?
4 out of 5, yeah.
Who did I have that you didn't have?
I have Shaka King for Judas and the Black Messiah.
Ah,
And you
okay.
have Who was
So
last
I
week?
have Zhao,
Yeah,
King,
Orion Zeller.
Zeller, Fincher, and Wolf.
Zeller for what?
The father.
Father.
Oh, right.
First time director.
I already was like,
Japanese
Father's getting
don't
in for
play.
picture, not director. So
Okay.
But not. Did
That's
you
what
say
I'm
Spike Lee? Did you
That
say
just seemed
Spike Lee?
very. I have him in 6th, and then I have Shaka
Spike Lee is
King.
getting in.
I have Shaka King in 7th, and then I have Lee Isaac Chung for Minari,
I was going to say Lee Isaac Chung, yeah, as well.
and then I have Ron Howard and Paul Greengrass.
So I was about to say, in like talking through, I know we went with Glenn Close for Hillbilly. Are we just sort of thinking it's going to be an also ran Hillbilly Elegy? Because it kind of, if you look at like what we thought was going to get nominated, it's not on there a whole lot.
I have it
Like-
way down in the fucking bottom.
it's a
For a
Ron
picture.
Howard film at the end of the day.
Well, yes, it's not the mission.
I have dropped
But, like,
it and Howard down.
Say that again.
I have dropped the movie and Howard down.
Yeah, I mean I have him in contention, but I don't have him as.
What about Paul Greengrass for News of the World?
I have him, but kind of down in the top 10 again. Like I think I have him in 9th actually.
That's Apple too, right? Is that right?
No, that's
Yes.
Universal.
Yeah.
Universal. Okay.
Oh, it's
okay.
Universal.
Who's actually been, they were the first this year to attack how to do video on demand instead of theatrical with Trolls, that Trolls movie,
Oh God.
and King of Staten Island. So they've been ahead of other studios in being able to figure out how to monetize without a theatrical release, and they've done actually a really good job of it. So I feel pretty good about News of the World right now, even though it's not exactly the kind of movie that's going to be, oh, did you see, this? But it's Tom Hanks, so I think maybe it will.
Plus,
Yeah,
Plus
that's
Paul
what I'm thinking too.
Plus Paul Greengrass. So
Yeah, but that's kind of a simple thing.
Captain Phillips reunited. Right.
So here's a question: if it doesn't, well, let's say, if Dune comes out this year, is Denis Villeneuve in?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
So movie, 100%. It's the only
Really?
media, like the main studio component.
Mhm.
But I've also, so when I restarted my predictions, because I took a big break from it with picture and director, and especially director, I decided not to do ranked predictions. And the reason that I decided to do that is because we have so many women directors and Black directors in there. And what happens year after year is this idea that, okay, this is the time that this person is going to get in. Regina King's going to get in, and Chloe Zhao's going to get in, and Shaka King's going to get in. And it ends up being this almost like an either or, and a competition within that group of people.
Totally, absolutely, yep.
I decided to do, and I'm going to keep doing it until probably almost the very end, an unranked version where it's 10 people, totally alphabetized. So there is not the same type of
Horse race. Yeah.
internal competition between women and between directors of color. Because I think, I wish it was a little more like that. I love my rankings, and it's fun, and it's a great part of what I do. But I think in this category, really specifically, I want to change the way that it's looked at, and I want to change the way that it's talked about. Because if we only talk about Denis Villeneuve and David Fincher and Paul Greengrass and Aaron Sorkin, we've already lost so much of that conversation.
And it becomes who's going to be the Black woman to get in, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
So I want it to be, a bigger conversation.
That's great. That's awesome.
And I hope that it is, because all of these people that we're talking about right now are equally likely to get in. I think everybody has such a equal chance if we give them the equal part of the conversation.
Right. I think Zhao and King feel right, just because I think the uproar of no female directors, or the lack thereof in the last several years. I mean, yeah, Greta Gerwig, but other than that, there hasn't been much. So
And none of them have gotten a second.
say that again.
None
Yeah.
female directors have gotten another.
And Greta Gerwig, the only
you
Oscar
mean-
her films have ever won has been costume design. So
Right. And Catherine Bigelow clearly couldn't repeat, even though The Picture was nominated. So yeah, no. I think it'll be an interesting mix of your standard, and I agree with Alfie. Aaron Sorkin. I think he'll get in for writing, but he's not going to get in for directing.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, it's an original screenplay.
Yeah.
Although adapted is the more open. That's a really interesting category. Original is going to be fucking jammed.
So I know we were talking about adapted. I had Nomadland, One Night in Miami, The Father, Ma Rainey, and News of the World for adapted. That was my top 5.
I thought we were talking about director.
Oh, sorry. I know. I threw that in real fast. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Like
I know we were talking about screenplay.
I do have a question because it was funny. I thought it was great, but it feels like everybody like jumped in and said Shaka King is definitely getting nominated.
I didn't. I don't have her.
I don't have her. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I misheard it. I thought everybody was like,
No.
Shaka King in, but I'm not confident. So
okay.
Yeah,
Because
no.
it felt like maybe I misheard because it sounded like
Alfie,
people were one of
Alfie
the.
and I switched on that one. He had
yeah.
King. I had Zeller.
Okay.
Zeller is going to be a really interesting component to this.
It feels very directy, actor kind of director kind of. It's just. I haven't seen. I'm just going just on. I haven't seen it, so
I mean, own stage play, which is really unusual, but it's beautifully fucking staged.
Right. I defer to you on that since you saw it twice.
It's beautifully staged.
And you didn't call me. I could drive an hour and a half up to Hillsburg. I could drive.
Oh my god.
Or you could come over to San Francisco, hang out here. We have this whole nice area here.
That's true. Could do that, and then just like stream it from my laptop. That's a good point.
So
I have Apple, so we can totally do it on the light screen. Oh, we totally diverse. Anyway, diverse. Sorry.
No, so the one that was on this list and I was looking at, and I just wanted to bring up and see what everybody else thought. Cornel Mondrashku for Pieces of a Woman.
Yeah.
So here's why. Because there's a 26-minute unedited like single shot of birth that happens in that film. And is Cornel Mondrashku for Pieces of a Woman?
No. So, thank you for pronouncing that because I wrote it down and I could not for the life of me. How is that? How is that? Okay.
So I've been really fascinated with him. I saw his last film, White God, which I thought was visually stunning. In fact, it's really interesting. When I saw that film, I thought I could see them plucking him up to do a Marvel film. Like that's what you know what I mean? Like because I felt like if they're going to pull someone in, just because, so visually I felt like he was sort of established himself. And I've heard that Pieces of a Woman is primarily about the performances, is what I've heard. It's sort of especially, but however, every single review I've heard has been about this 26-minute single shot that is incredibly staged, is incredibly directed, essentially, of birth, and it's harrowing and it's heartbreaking. I could see that feeling like enough of a hook for a director to say like that is incredibly difficult, and let's nominate him for some stuff. And so that's when I just felt like, because every single review I've heard has specifically mentioned this one scene and how incredibly articulately perfectly it's done technically. So just wanted to throw his name out to sort of see if someone thinks, again, the rest of the film, yeah.
See,
I put him down like way on the bottom. Again, I'm just going based on a few things. Same thing with, we haven't talked about a movie. I haven't seen it, but through the Twitterverse, First Cow, is that gonna be
Kelly Reichardt?
It's so good, but
Screenplay, maybe, possibly.
So many Spirit Awards.
Okay. It's
Spirit Awards out the wazoo. The Cow's getting nominated for the Spirit Awards.
It might happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to speak to James' comment about Mondrashku. Obviously, if you've read the same reviews that I have, and I'm not seeing it till next week, that 30-minute opening has been the focus of a lot of those reviews. And then what what I've read from my own, I had somebody at Venice and somebody at Toronto, and the after comments were after that 30 minutes.
Diminishing returns, yeah.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
So to have that high point at the beginning and not be able to sustain it is the kind of thing that I feel like it's great for a performance, maybe less so for a director. But I still have him in my other contenders because I'm obviously going to keep an eye on anything that Netflix has because this is a year for streamers to be able to do extremely well.
But also like
Wondering.
looking at these titles, like every year there's always like a number of kind of like introspective kind of performance driven kind of movies, but there's really only one slot open for one of them to make it in.
Yeah.
And if we look at Pieces of a Woman and Minari and Nomadland, I think Nomadland is probably
It's not even close.
Yeah.
It's definitely the heavy hitter. I mean, if you put those three together, absolutely.
Yeah.
If Chloe Zhao does not get in, I can't even
I could not. Yeah.
what that would look like this year.
I cannot imagine. A scenario when she
everything is in her favor and lined up for this nomination. Everything.
Yeah.
And possibly more.
Yes.
I think Francesco and I actually were texting back and forth about it, and I will go. Chloe Zhao is winning something. I feel like she's winning, if not director, if not picture, screenplay, something. I don't think I will say that. That's the thing. Chloe Zhao will walk away with an Oscar after this year. Like that's what I feel like.
Nomadland is winning
has
screenplay
4 chances
for sure.
She does. She's edited. She edited it too. Yeah. Which I feel
4 chances.
Yeah.
I wish the score was original, but it's not.
Yeah.
So, because that was a huge component in the emotional factor of it, but that's a director and a music supervision choice. So
and people feel pretty good about Regina King. Erik, are you the only one that actually you saw it? I think twice again.
Twice. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? As far as her,
I loved it. This is a feature debut. She's directed television before, and she is an extremely good director. She understands actors in a way that actor-directors understand actors. She knows when and who to focus on and how to do it, when to do a close-up, when to pull back. Obviously, she's learned a little bit from Barry Jenkins and Beale Street. There isn't like the same kind of mid-range close-up moment, but there is an understanding of how to focus on a performance and when to cut.
But do you feel that if she gets nominated, it's warranted?
Oh no!
Not because she. Okay, so
Absolutely.
that was going to be the thing. It's like Regina King, she's like top of the world right now. She's
won every award under the sun in the past 3 years.
Right. No. But right, and I totally appreciate that. I was just curious because she's going into this directing, which is totally different.
Here's the thing, because this is so funny. I just had a conversation with somebody that was about, oh my God, politics and race and merit-based stuff. And it was a really
gross,
heated conversation. And
I've had a few of those.
And
Christ.
This was the year that I finally was able to earn enough revenue to pay writers and bring people on that I really wanted to work with in mass. And she asked me, if you had a straight white writer here and a black female writer here, and they had the exact same qualities that you were looking for, are you telling me that you would go for the black female writer? And I said 100% of the time.
Yeah.
100% of the time. And it has to do with opportunity and availability for all of those things to happen. And I absolutely would include Regina King and this year in that. If I was looking at Regina King next to a lot of straight white male directors, and I had to look at this, even if I was looking at it as a merit-based decision, I would still pick her.
Yeah.
Because if she was a fucking white male, this wouldn't be a discussion.
Right. She'd be nominated already.
Because we're literally having that discussion about Florian Zeller doing the same thing.
Right.
So why are we not having the same discussion about Regina King doing the same thing?
No, I totally agree.
She deserves to be in. She deserves to be in the conversation.
Good. No,
She's
that's great.
Fantastic director, and it's a great fucking movie.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, I also had like 4 drinks.
No, fuck. So basically, before I like totally buzz, and Alfie, you can totally delete this. Erik, I just want to say how absolutely impressed I am what you have done with your site since the early days of when we were on the boards in 2000, when you were Erik Anderson, and then you became Anti-Hero, and what you have done is just completely impressive from the early days. I remember meeting you at the Thai restaurant in San Francisco after you got booted off the boards, and I just want to say, and then you invited me to your house for the Oscars for 2006, The Departed year. So I just want to say, you're going to edit all this ass kissing, but I'm just really impressed with what you've done with all this. So good job.
Thank you. That's awesome. Please don't edit any of that.
I know.
It's a weird thing because I didn't ever think that this was going to be a thing that I could make a living from or do something that I wanted to do. The transfer of hobby to work is a really awkward one, and you can lose a whole lot of your interest in doing it once you have to do it as a job. And it is extremely difficult. Having to turn it into a revenue-based interest is extremely difficult. But this year was huge and a breakthrough. I'm almost 50. So I'm not fucking 25, and I'm not.
Dude, I'm almost
doing this as a young person, as a lot of people do.
Dude, so, I'm almost 60. So.
I know, and you still have the same color hair, and
yeah,
I'm jealous as hell. But no, it's I get a lot of emotional reward from being able to do something that I want to do something that can support my family, and to do something that can support people that don't have the voice that they deserve to have. And that's been like the greatest thing that I've had this year, not talking about Oscar stuff, because I can do that on a blog. I can do that anywhere that I want to do. But I do
that like in the shower. So.
Exactly. I do too. But I've been able to create a platform for myself that has allowed other people to flourish and to do things that don't always get that. I had fucking Alfie write a piece for me for the first time in 20 years. And I can't tell you how like emotionally wonderful that was for me. It was fantastic.
And for me.
Awesome.
I mean, if I can't do things for the people around me, what am I fucking doing?
Yeah.
It's
wonderful. I have this site up right now. I was just looking at this, like, it's just, I don't know. I'll sort of second that, like, Rob, like, congratulate. It's just, again, like, it's so far above and beyond, like this, I don't know, you're contributing in a way that's really, really, really impressive. And like, no, again, yes, crap. I was going to make a funny thing and I forgot his name. Shit. Mark Ruffalo. I was supposed to say, you got the Mark Ruffalo Emmy thing wrong. But but other than
I did.
Other than that, like, it's
God,
the work is so amazing. No, congratulations. It's just, I don't know. I love seeing like you transfer like this passion, this love, and then again, I love the what you were saying about like being able to sort of give voice to other people who don't have that traditionally been given that voice. I don't know, it's great. So just again, just jump into the love fest. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. No, absolutely. Bravo. Good job, though.
On that note, Tenet. Are we thinking it's winning?
Well, I have that as number one sweeping. No, I don't. I didn't even have that on my list.
3 months ago, I could see a lot of people thinking it was going to. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
it sucks.
Who has
so-
seen it? Oh, so Cesco, you saw it?
No, I read the reviews.
Okay.
I saw it. This is Tennis.
That doesn't count.
Seen in the theater since March. I
what's
went.
that?
You saw it in Napa, right? At the
I
Napa
drove
AMC.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it was the only thing I have seen in the theater since March.
And what?
It's fine. It's good.
Okay.
There's a lot of things.
It's
All right. All
fine.
right. So fine is not going to win
about it.
Best
It was
Picture.
Fine.
Oh,
Decent.
girl. Like, it has fine, less than fine has won Best Picture.
Where does it fall in the Nolan?
Oh, at the bottom.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, no, it's at the bottom.
Okay.
It feels like he needs a reset. Like,
Yeah,
he
he
needs
does.
to-
He can't.
he's got too much money. He's got too much money now. Like, give you $10,000 and do it again. Like,
I would.
On an
His thing was
iPhone.
like bloated and pretentious
yeah.
and just like, okay.
I would take that remake of Insomnia that he did over this any day.
Hmm.
I just
Oh.
want to dial back a little bit
yeah.
because everything is now feeling like versions of Memento, versions of Dunkirk. It's all feeling familiar in a way that's not fun anymore
Yeah.
at all.
It just feels to me, and again, like Tenet, like it felt like let's put Inception backwards. Let's just run it backwards, and then like I don't know, hire Denzel Washington's son. Like that.
It felt
My
like
favorite film of his
he
still
is
is
the
The
player,
Prestige.
which is exactly what you just said. All right, it's Inception, but backwards. That's how it's exactly how it felt.
Yeah.
Like,
For me, I don't think he's
Not a
top
movie.
Prestige for me. That's my favorite of his.
Following is
it-
actually really good
Plus,
too.
it had the last film appearance of Noe.
Oh no, I didn't realize that. Actually,
Yeah, that was his last.
Yeah,
a lot of people know The Prestige too. Like my husband, who I think has gotten more into film since we got married. But like I remember him saying like, "Oh, I love Prestige," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah," like it
Oh.
kind of permeated.
My wife is obsessed with Prestige. She's like, "Oh my god, it's the greatest film."
Prestige is an absolute standout in the
It's
canon
so-
of Christopher Nolan that exists in a totally different
It's
place.
so great.
I wish
so
we could
great.
do more stuff like that too.
It's so
Yep.
great.
It'd be great.
Do we think Soul is gonna play into any of this?
I'm
I haven't-
predicting it if it comes out.
For Best Picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it coming
I
out?
have it.
Yes. All
I
right.
think right now
I have
they're
it in
intent on
originals.
getting those children into those COVID seats and making them watch it. Like, watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. With your Soul brand mask.
Yeah.
Like, like.
So
I haven't
I've
this
seen
screenplay.
the first 40 minutes
Okay.
of Soul, and it's fucking amazing.
Okay.
It's
Doesn't
amazing.
surprise me. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Hmm.
I'm super fucking excited at the idea of Kemp Powers getting an original screenplay nomination and an adapted screenplay nomination because he is a co-writer on Soul and he is the playwright and adapted screenplay writer for One Night in Miami.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that. That's great.
He's a co-director for Soul, so he will not be on the nomination list for animated feature, which fucking sucks, and they need to change it.
Oh, so
Because-
it's just Pete Docter is eligible?
And the producer.
That's so silly.
Well, so
It's
when they
really
get
gross because what's happened with Pixar?
did they change that? Because usually when
No. That's been the same, but what's
so
happened
the
with
producer doesn't go up. It's just the
Yeah.
director.
producer and the main director goes up.
That's what they did to Coco.
It happened with Coco, and it's happening with Soul, where you have a white director handling a very culturally specific story and film, and then they bring on a co-director that exemplifies whatever that culture is, but because they are a co-director, they do not get the Oscar credit. And it
Okay, so
sucks.
maybe I thought there were two directors for Brave.
There is, but they are officially co-directors. I mean, they are officially both directors. So Brenda Chapman
What?
it's an and. It's an and.
Oh,
Oh my god.
They are
That's-
both directors.
All right, then change it.
Yes, I completely agree because Kent Powers deserves to have
Hey,
more credit. The movie is fucking fantastic.
That's so semantics at that point.
There's so much,
That's stupid.
okay, so it's very split between like the current world of him as a jazz pianist, and Angela Bassett is like a jazz legend queen in it, and she is amazing. And then the other half is
she going to get the Annie?
The soul half.
Okay.
And the presentation of that is very Don Hertzfeld. The animation style is very Don Hertzfeld.
Interesting.
I'm not supposed to say anything for a
That's
couple
right.
of days.
Right.
But
We won't tell. We won't tell.
I get to say things in a couple days.
I just tweeted
but
something.
it's fucking great. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
That's cool.
All right.
But that's one of those.
I think it's absolutely a screenplay contender.
That's what I have.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that the way that things are now that haven't allowed animated films to get in since the first 2 years. But once it goes back to 10 solid nominations, I think it'll happen again.
This year they're not doing the 8, 9 shit, right? They're just going to do
10, right?
It's a straight flat 10, right?
Wait, this year is? Am I crazy?
So this coming year, it's 10. It's not going to be like 8 or maybe 9.
Oh, it is?
Okay.
It's 10, right?
I have to redo my.
No, because that was one of the changes.
Hillbilly allergy.
Yeah, so that was one of the changes was they were combining. They were going to do sound.
That's what I thought too. They're going to combine sound,
and they're
then
saying
10.
so, and then it's 10 Best Picture nominees, not.
But
8,
to that point,
9.
I don't know if it's this year or next year. I can't.
I thought it was for 2021.
I'll look at it again.
All right, but I know that Best Picture is going to.
Yeah,
Best Picture is going to 10.
If this isn't a straight 10, I'm not predicting Soul because animated films don't get in when it's
right.
I believe it's
that's my thinking too.
No, I think it's a straight. I think the new rules for sound and picture are for this coming year. So I believe it's a straight 10, and that sound is now just best sound.
The soul element of the movie is very Inside Out. Very Inside Out.
That's what the feeling I got from the kind of description is. Just it's along the vein of that.
And then the Alive part is some of the like most gorgeous animation.
Okay, I'm moving that up to my.
Because they've never had a black lead
flipping
or a black story as their main film. So, I mean, the colors are really important, and you'll always hear every black actor talk about a movie that they're in where the cinematographer either can or cannot light them correctly.
Their skin, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And everything in this is just so vibrant and rich and exciting, and I cannot wait to see the whole thing. I can't wait.
So the question is, they haven't decided if they're going to release it theatrical or it's going to go straight to Disney Plus, right? That's still kind of like.
So far, based on the thing that I participated in, theatrical is how it's going to be. But
okay.
Also know that everything changes week to week.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It would do just fine as a premiere like Mulan did. It would do great.
Hmm.
Okay.
So in terms of
Mulan,
what's that?
I was like, speaking of Mulan.
Mulan sucked. Yeah. It was awful.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Wow. Okay.
What a train wreck.
It was bad.
Did you see it like for free? You didn't pay like $40 for whatever they were charging for, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think you did, but I've just double checked.
No, I did not.
Right.
So
it was not good.
In terms of the contenders, so
to them, so
if we were to vote, like let's say I'll go on this list. This is not in alphabetical or anything order. So let's news of the world. Best Picture nominee or not?
Yes.
Yes.
I have it.
Yes. I have it.
The Five Bloods.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
The Father.
Yes.
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 See, I said no. I feel like that's the kind that's like very actorly and writerly, but doesn't get in Best Picture.
Sony Pictures Classic does really well at the Oscar game. That's why I have it in.
And it's better than that silly French one.
Oh.
French one.
So assuming it's this year, Dune.
Yes,
I have no.
100%. If it's this year.
Really? So
yeah.
Rob and Francesco said no
Yeah,
for
I
Best
said no.
Picture.
No.
Yeah, I'm saying no.
No.
Interesting. Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Ooh.
Nomadland. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
One
no,
night-
no. Fuck no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
One Night in Miami.
Yes.
Yes.
Not sure.
Yes.
Mank.
Yes.
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 Not sure.
Yes.
Ma Rainey. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Yes.
Trial of Chicago 7.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes at number 10.
I'm just doing this because it's funny. Ammonite.
No.
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 Yeah, okay. Minari.
Yes.
Yes.
I have no right now, but I want it to happen.
For 10? For even if it's 10, you
If
think
it's
it's a
10,
maybe?
yeah.
I have it at 11.
Oh.
I'm like I said before, I'm enthused that A24
Yeah.
is putting it all in these regional festivals, virtual, and I hope that it does. So maybe October is different,
Okay.
but I don't know what I'll drop. I'll probably drop Dune because by that time it might be gone.
They'll get pulled.
Hillbilly Elegy.
No.
Yes.
No.
Really? We have not really. So what is our
Fuck
last?
all y'all.
No,
Is
that's
Nomadland
okay.
the only one that everybody said yes? Is Nomadland the only one that everybody said yes so far?
Also the Five Bloods.
And then Five Bloods.
No,
Okay.
I said no to 5 bucks.
No.
Oh, you did.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, so really,
Yeah.
Nomadland is the only one that we all said yes. But who
Unanimous.
thinks it's going to win? Who thinks it's going to win?
So that's exactly the question.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's so strange. Okay, sorry. Continuing on. Just rarely, sometimes, always, never. Rarely, sometimes, always.
Scream.
Yeah.
That's it.
For no, not for Best Picture.
Best
no.
Picture.
No.
Soul.
Yeah.
Again,
Yes.
this is assuming it makes this year.
Yes.
I think Erik just made us say
Yeah,
yes.
that's
It will
Yeah.
make this year, whether it's theatrical or Disney Plus. It's 100% this year.
I have it at 10 for me.
So I can move things around for it.
You have the power.
Like
I
if
will
we-
say this, even though we were just joking about it, Tenet. Is there
No.
a chance
No.
that okay?
that movie made $50 million here.
I'm going to say it's going to get some techies, maybe sound or editing or visual effects.
No,
Or,
it should get editing because it's the strongest element of the film, and Jennifer Lame absolutely fucking deserves it.
Okay.
Because that's the story. The story of that movie is the editing.
okay.
It's
What
not,
about Elizabeth Becky?
nothing else.
Not,
Elizabeth Becky's height. What about that? Then
Actually, wait. Have you saw it, right, James? You saw it?
no,
Tenet?
no, I have not. No, I have not.
Okay,
I
because
haven't seen shit.
Elizabeth Becky's height is actually
A plot point.
it is. I don't want to say it's a sight gag, but it is a moment in the movie that
She's
only
6'1". Like she's like.
it only can exist because of her height. And when you see it, you'll know exactly what I mean.
Okay.
It's fantastic. But
And then
she's a little damsel in distress, and she deserves more.
the only thing that I have left is the U.S. versus Billie Holiday.
I have that as a no.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
interesting. The only film of the entire list that I just said that everybody said is getting nominated is Nomadland.
Because
Yeah.
it's a possible winner.
Yeah.
We think it's a winner. Like so I was thinking about the interesting thing. So I was thinking
It is.
coming into it, and this is why I think Minari is going to get nominated. I think Nomadland and Minari both talk about how difficult it is to succeed in America at two different times of American history, and I feel like those two and Hillbilly Elegy actually as well in its own way, and that's why I would vote for Hillbilly Elegy too. I think we're going to come into this, especially if you know who wins, hitting this critical mass of let's celebrate these films that talk about, frankly, how difficult it is to be in, like, what the American dream really is now. And so that's why I feel like Nomadland will get in. That's why I feel like Minari will get in. And that's why I feel like Hillbilly Elegy. But to your point, Erik, and it was interesting that you brought that up, if Biden wins, maybe we're a little bit like, let's not be so negative. You know, like, let's go for something a little more uplifting, like Soul, and looking at this list, nothing else is lifting up. Dune,
Yeah.
I know. These are a lot of downer films.
On the Rocks, like I don't know, like what it is. That's horrible. Like, but so that's or Ammonite, a little bit, some dinner at the Y. So like, but so that's what I feel like. The thing when I was looking at this, those three films hit me as like, that's kind of where America feels like they're at right now. Is like, it is fucking tough to live in America. I know that it's not only Americans voting, and I know that's a very U.S. centric sort of point of view, but I feel like those three films have like a Hillbilly Elegy, Minari, and Nomadland,
Right.
possibly varying degrees of like success for pulling those stories off. But to me, I feel like those are the three that I would vote for, because I feel like those hit the moment more.
Sure.
My concern with a lot of that is that it's two of the three of those, and then if you add Trial of Chicago 7, are the white entry point to these kind of stories. Because if you think about the concept of an American story, or what it means to be all-American, and if your default is white to that, that's a huge part of the problem right there. Because the concept of the American story exists so far outside of being white that something like Minari is a fantastic example of that. Chicago 7 exists in the midst of incredible revolution and riots that are happening right now in the name of Black Lives Matter. In the movie, this is a white fucking movie. I don't want the concept of the American experience to continue to be a solely white version of that experience as the entry point. So, I mean, I love Nomadland, and at this point, that's my number one film of the year. It is extraordinary. Absolutely fucking extraordinary.
But it's very white.
It is. It also does incorporate some elements of indigenous people too, not, to the degree that I would like, as a fucking white person. But that's my fear. That is literally my fear, that this year, after Parasite, we're going to see a American movie, but it's going to be through the lens of only like white Americans. And
so vote for Minari. There you go.
So vote for fucking Minari. So vote for fucking
or the Five Bloods. Yeah, exactly.
There are options. They're there.
Yeah. So that's what. So the interesting thing that I thought about all of us saying Nomadland is I feel like it is a very white-centered view of America, of the American downfall. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so I don't know if that's going to resonate. So I just thought it was interesting that that's the only one everybody thought was going to be on the list. So probably something other than that will win. But we all have opinions as to whether or not whatever that is will even get on the list.
Yeah, the director isn't white, which I think does matter.
I think with Nomadland, it's also, that's the one, at least from where I am, has had the most buzz, the most like across the board, positive reviews, and this is the Oscar contender and blah blah blah. So that's why I kind of put it as far. And again, I like Erik, people that I follow have seen it and said, they don't really have any complaints about the film.
There's no good. And Searchlight pulled French Dispatch. It's probably going to be Berlin or Cannes. Nightmare Alley is not happening till next year, so they can focus solely on this. And it feels like the cards are all in place for it, and I'm absolutely happy about it. I really, really am, because it's going to mean Chloe Zhao gets the attention that so many other non-white directors have deserved to this point. And whether it's Parasite or Lulu Wang, they set the stage for this to happen this year. Absolutely. And I will be extraordinarily happy for it to happen. I really will.
So actually, I want to call myself out on something because I was talking about those 3 films about Nomadland, Hillbilly Elegy, and Minority. And I said they like talk about like the American. One Night in Miami does too, and The Five Bloods does too. And so so we're gonna say like, and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom does too. You know what I mean? So, but I wanted to sort of clarify that I felt like the way traditionally the Oscars have looked at like what the American story is,
Sure.
it's
Yes.
usually typically centered around like the white perspective of it. So, and also Dune. I'm just kidding. So it's centered from the place of the worm. Like that's had like.
Sorry, Emmy winner Zendaya.
I know, yeah.
Okay.
So what is the film that's coming out next year? She's doing. It's Margot. So I just know because Jeremy O'Harris like tweeted, "Hey, she's going to win the Oscar next year for it." So
yes, that's right.
I'm forgetting which it's called. So I'm just going to say next year I'm going to predict Zendaya. So there you go.
Okay, perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just based on Jeremy O'Harris, which is.
We need to get her at least halfway to EGOT.
I know, yeah. So,
Come on.
So.
Wow, that was a really big silence, James.
Yeah, no, I was just kind of going through all my.
No, I was waiting. I was waiting because I thought Alfie was going to take over.
I was going to mention with Nomadland, the thing that I know we all agree with it, but at this moment I don't think it's going to win Best Picture because I also think even though we've had 2 films recently buck the trend, I don't know if it's going to get in for SAG Ensemble, and I think that's still,
So I feel like there might be an eligibility problem there.
Yeah.
Like with.
Like Beast of
Like most of the ensemble is ineligible.
No, I don't think there's going to be. No, I don't think there will be an eligibility issue there. The weird thing about SAG is who they allow in the ensemble.
Yeah, like Swanky won't get in.
No, it'll be like McDormand and Strathairn, and that's it. Because
seriously.
No one else in that movie is a fucking SAG member.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, me cheating and looking at Variety, there was a Best Supporting Actress.
Variety.
Or I know. Well, give me a fucking break.
What does Variety do to you, Erik? Tell me, girl.
Okay, so again, not seeing the movie, they had
Clayton. I'm just teasing.
They had an actress by the name of Linda May. Who was she?
Yes.
So she was like the best friend character, who also I loved. However, I will say,
and they did have Swanky. They had your Swanky in there too, but they also had listed Linda May as a possible.
Sure.
So here's the thing I'll say about Linda May. So, and this reminds me of something that I felt when I saw the movie George Washington as well, which was a film that was a lot of like non-actors.
Yeah.
Is that what's that?
And
it is. No, it is. It's one of my favorite films ever. But when you're watching it, like I said, there was a crackle around the edges where you knew they weren't trained actors. And there was something about Linda May that you got that as well. You know, and like she had these moments where, again, like it was sort of like I can't explain it, but that's the thing that I think like separated Swanky, like Charlene Swanky from everybody else, was that she just didn't have that. Like she just had like she felt like she understood exactly like as an actor like what to do and how to portray and use the camera and use her face and use her positioning and like blocking. And like Linda May was great, was really, really great. She played like a really sort of much happier kind of go-lucky, like almost like the kind of bizarro version of Swanky a little bit in terms of like the narrative arc. But I think that's a good example of sort of like when you're working with non-actors that you can get 2 great performances. Like Linda May I thought was great, but Swanky was just different. It was just, I just felt like different. She got it. Almost like she should have been an actress her whole life and she never got the chance, which I also feel like is a great like story behind it as well. Like she just never got that chance, and now she gets this chance, and it's sort of like, oh shit, you were meant to do this your whole life.
That's so interesting because as I was watching it, and especially the scene that she has, like her monologue in the van, it worked so well for me because it was there was nothing actorly about it.
Yeah.
So that to an extent, I was like, is she actually talking about something that happened?
I agree.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, there's this sort of like kind of like magic balance of like she is clearly a non-trained actor, but the performance comes across as super polished and effective and kind of like special. Yeah.
No, that's a great way of saying it.
It's my favorite thing about non-actors, and that is that we come at this from a very cynical point of view. So if we see an actor that we know very well do a great performance in something very different than they're used to, then we call out, this is a really different performance than we've seen from them. And it's first-time actors have none of that. They have no baggage. So we get to enter this entirely in the moment. We are not bringing anything with it, which is the only way that it allows us to enter a scene. I mean, really, with completely no preconceptions whatsoever. When we have these first-time actors or one-time actors, even, we're in this moment with them, like we are McDormand, like we are right there with them. And you cannot replicate that from, the greatest actor of their generation doing a wonderful performance. It's an entirely unique experience. And oh my God, if Swanky gets in,
You're great.
If Swanky gets in, Nomadland is winning Best Picture, kind of a thing.
I just want Oscar nominee Swanky. I just want that.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't realize she had a first name until Erik. I looked on Erik, and you said it was Charlene. I was like, okay, good, because like I was just like, is it just gonna be like Lady Gaga? I was just like, that's her name, like Swanky, like Cher. Like
I had only Swanky in for my predictions until I added the Charlene. I'm like, can I keep it as Swanky?
I know, yeah. I will say, I would imagine she's in for a shoe-in for a Spirit Award nomination. I would say, like, yeah. She's shoe-in.
I don't know how anything is going to lose to. Yeah, Nomadland is such a easy one there.
And I will say, Rob, to your point, Linda May, I would see as a Spirit nominee as well. I could see both of them getting
Linda
it.
May.
Yeah. She was great. I mean, she was great. Yeah. Yes.
Be like the supporting person. You think that it's going to be her?
Me too. Yeah, I thought,
Which is.
Yeah. So, it's interesting.
I do think though that they need to really, the campaign needs to, like, I hate to say it, but pick one.
Yeah.
If they can't do both, otherwise we're gonna get a situation where voters are gonna think that Swanky is the other, like they're non-actors. So
yeah.
Making sure that.
I feel like Swanky will come to the fore. I feel, you know what I mean? I feel like she just has again, like if you think about the kind of the way that the Oscars sort of like, you have to have a scene, right? Where she has a scene, like, she has a scene, and Linda May doesn't really. She just sort of has it, like she has a great scene where she's like cleaning a toilet with Frances McDormand, and it's like great and endearing and like very naturalistic. But like Swanky has this scene where she just rips your guts out, like just sort of like in this really, really powerful way. So.
And to be clear, they know that because Swanky was at the Telluride in LA.
Yeah, and Linda wasn't. So,
they know it. They know that Swanky is the one.
Yeah, and also again, like in terms of ancillary kind of PR things, like if she gets nominated for an Oscar, she can bring her RV to the ceremony. She can be her live reporter from out in the parking lot, like all of it. Like, so yeah.
I want to see that. I want to see it.
Me too. So. Who will dress Swanky?
So is there any high-profile film that's going to get kind of like skunked? Kind of like may get 1 or 2 nominations.
Future this had Oscar buzz contender.
Say that again?
Future this had Oscar buzz episode.
Tenet really
the this had Oscar buzz focus. Nobody wants to be that.
No. But somebody on this list will be. Somebody we talked about tonight will be. Is it? I mean, I feel like U.S. versus Billie Holiday is going to be the most likely nominee, just because I feel like Lee Daniels. What's that?
Lee Daniels.
Lee
Lee
Daniels.
Daniels.
Yeah. I mean, Paramount already unloaded Chicago 7 to Netflix because they're broke as fuck. So what are they going to be able to do for Billie Holiday anyway?
Yeah. See, I was going to say, again, I feel like Trial of Chicago 7 is going to be the one that I know there's factors of playing in its favor, but I don't know. I just think Aaron Sorkin hasn't translated well to Miss Sloane. Anybody? Like I don't think he's
Molly.
translated well to film. Yeah.
He won the Globe for
Molly,
Steve Jobs and then
did he?
didn't get nominated for the Oscar, and then got in for Molly's Game. So
Oh, Molly's Game. See, I even got the wrong name.
Exactly.
I got the wrong
Chastain.
I got the wrong Chastain film. So
it's so strange.
I don't know. That's my guess.
concern is really that he writes in a way that just doesn't really translate to like real life, and like all the character like have that like sort of like very staged, overly like eloquent kind of like way to talk to each other.
You mean like Patty Chayefsky?
Yeah, that just doesn't happen in real life, and then you're very aware that you're watching a movie and that those people are unreal.
Rob,
and that's
are you
for all of his movies.
Rob, are you saying no one would ever say, "I get your emeritus years"? Is that what you're saying? Like no one would ever say that?
I said that yesterday. What do you?
All right.
I will say, so Trial is the other thing, Rob, Eric, I will say, sorry, really quickly. Eric, is for Trial of Chicago 7, it's also placing white people at the center of that story.
That's what I said. Just
yeah.
What extent? Yeah.
And I just feel like that's
weird about it.
That's not. So that's what. Again, if I had to guess, that's the film I think is going to be this had Oscar buzz. Is Trial of Chicago 7. That's my guess.
Or it's the Green.
That will get snubbed, or that will.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to want to be like once people get out, like it just doesn't jive with the time, you know. And I feel like it gets nothing. That's my guess. If I had to, again.
I mean,
Eric, you saw it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did anybody else? So, what are your thoughts, just based on like kind of Oscar history? Would it probably get in?
I think it has potential for a lot of nominations. I think.
Okay.
Potential, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
wait a minute. Where are you?
Gun
to head. Best Picture nominee. I can't.
In September, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
We're in October.
But it's actually October. But
I'm talking about my September. I think I'm this month.
In September, yeah.
I'm not gonna deal with like 3 film festivals and then try and do first week of the month predictions.
Dude,
I'm gonna wait until all of that.
Dude, I'm fucking with you after you've had
No, I know. I was trying to get all my September stuff in.
So the one thing I will say about that,
I couldn't do it.
The one thing I will say about that is it has so many actors in it. I feel like one of them might break through, but I feel like that's going to be it. Like, so that's what I'll say.
But also, they're like all competing against each other, which is very
there's too many that are competing. It's a SAG nominee for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I will say that. Yeah,
I just feel it's so Oscar-y. I think it's going to be in there. I mean, will it get 10? I don't know, but I think it's going to get picture, screenplay, and acting, maybe a few techies. But
this is just my. If I had to guess, which one is going to, that's the one I would go for.
Okay.
My fear is that it's Minari, but
I totally get it.
I hope not.
Me too. I feel like that's my fear.
Yeah.
Wait to see it. Oh my god. I want to see it now. I'm gonna watch On the Rocks tonight, but we haven't even talked about that, sadly.
I have that in the original screenplay. That's it.
Yeah, it's a maybe. That's it. Bill Murray supporting, maybe.
Yeah.
I just have it in screenplay.
They're way out of like a top 10.
What I've read from the New York Film Festival is just sort of.
It's sweet.
Pithy.
Cute,
it's just
like,
fine. It's fine. It's fine. Like, yeah.
If anybody says it's fine, you can like move on.
Yeah. It's like thanks, no. But I am seeing French Exit. Oh wait, do we think French Exit has a chance for Best Picture?
What did I have?
No, I don't.
I don't have it. I have it.
Not over the father.
Maybe screenplay in it.
Yeah.
Adapted, right?
Yeah. I'm seeing that next Saturday. So.
Me too.
I would love to see Let's get in supporting actor, but that would be really exceptional.
Well, if he didn't get in for
Everything.
everything he's ever done, no.
Also playing a cat, so
Oh God.
he's the cat. He's the black cat.
It's a
Oh,
voiceover,
wow.
right?
Oh
It's a
God.
voice
Oh, yeah.
performance. So I know you talked about Lucas Hedges, and bless his little heart.
Yeah.
I would love to see
Yeah.
Tracy Letts get in, only because all the fanboys would go so insane for what's his name, Smeagol, to not,
Smeagol.
first person to get like a voiceover performance. Whatever.
Oh yeah, Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis. Doesn't
Yes,
matter.
Andy Serkis. Whatever.
Actors are too insecure. They'll never do that.
Really?
I think this entire video thing is me brushing my hair back.
Yeah, I kind of want to like drive down to your house and shave your goddamn head.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is Ammonite is winning
2817 Bush Street.
Ammonite wins. All right, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Credits.
The trailer did no.
For which one?
Ammonite, especially Kate Winslet.
It looks like
Kate Winslet playing a butch lesbian. No.
is she playing a butch lesbian?
I mean, there is. Oh my God, there's so much.
Well, I mean, good for them, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
congratulations. That's great.
yeah.
It's a lot.
I don't. Yeah.
It's a lot. And
Well,
this is like,
okay.
So
As
never
that translated to Oscar nominations historically,
This is all like
dining at the Y.
Stop.
There is.
Like Rob left.
Like,
No, right. No, my third child just showed up.
Oh, nice.
Hi, baby.
This is Ozzy.
Alfie, I think you've lost control of this pod.
A dog has entered the chat. I'm stopping everything.
Oh, sorry. Go.
Let's see. Oh, wait.
He busted through. This is like the sacred room down here. I don't know how he got
Oh,
it. Sorry.
so one question, last, and like I know we're all over the place now. Do we think there's any chance for I'm Thinking of Ending Things getting into screenplay?
I
It's
have it.
adapted. So
1, 2, 3, 1,
And
2, 3, 4.
it's a tough category. It's too tough of a category. There's too many.
It's
Yeah.
in there.
Oh, yeah, I think Charlie Kaufman, which is funny. Everyone thinks like, oh, Charlie Kaufman, he's like a brand in screenplay.
I haven't
He's
seen.
only been nominated twice, right?
Yeah, but like really once you won, so
3, right?
and that was like a decade ago.
Did he get nominated for?
It just feels like
Being John Malkovich, adaptation, and
Eternal
Eternal
Sunshine.
Sunshine, right?
Like
So
there-
3?
Oh yeah, 3. Okay, yep.
but Anomalisa got in for animated.
Yes.
Animated, yep.
So
Mhm.
Oh,
In fact,
right.
here a fun fact. I heard that he used the same animator from Anomalisa to do the pig in I'm Thinking of Ending Things at the end.
Yeah.
Because they tried to use a real pig, but pigs cannot turn from side to side with their head, and he wanted the pig to be able to do that. And also, it was in the school, and so the school's floor had a reflective surface, and that freaks pigs out. So they tried it. I would love to see the outtake video of the pig freaking out, like trying to do that.
Yeah.
And then they just animated it.
People say pigs are smart. No, they're fucking.
So yes. So Alfie, if you could edit that probably way back in the beginning, because I don't feel like that's where you want to end.
I think this is a good place to put a pin on it.
Oh my God! Sorry, do you need to rethink the late happy hour?
Oh no, this was great.
Okay, that was fantastic.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to all you for
thank
being here
you.
for this. When it was suggested, I was like, yeah, let's do Oscar talk for this year instead of looking backwards.
Yeah.
So, so thank all of you for joining me.
Oh, thank you for hosting. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're going to be. This should be up Sunday morning. We're recording this Saturday night, and save this video and let us know which ones we got wrong.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
And Trial of
All right,
Chicago 7 wins everything. So there you go.
There you go. All right, you guys. Everyone have a good night. Stay safe.